One second. One second. Okay. My co-host said I could start. All right. So this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna propose the question. This is the topic. These are the rules. All right. Don't come up here and curse. All right. I give chances, but if you consistently do it, you're out of here. No foul language. Respect the host. Respect each other. And we should be good to go. Let me let up common sense first. Mr. Common Sense, are you there?
Hello, yeah.
How you doing? How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fine.
Good, good. So I like to do kind of like thought-provoking topics or just topics that spark people's interest. And the question is, are men taking too long to propose? What's your opinion, brother?
I don't think so. And that's saying a lot for me. I mean, I guess it depends on your situation. I've been with the same woman almost 13 years. We have 3 kids together, and we are not married. I've
Okay.
actually proposed. She's just not ready to get married yet, so technically it's her, not me.
Oh, really? That's an interesting take. I mean, you know, so she's the one. So you proposed, and she has said yes, or
Well,
she said wait. Like, what?
she said yes, but she's taken my engagement ring. But then we can never come up with a date for the marriage. It just keeps getting put on, or So it's like it's more her than
Oh,
me.
okay, okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. Let me. Okay, so I guess my question is this, right? So before you proposed, I mean, you said you guys were in a relationship at least more than 1 year, right? You said 3 years.
No, we've been in a relationship like 13 years.
Oh,
We've
13
we've
years.
been
Okay.
together a long time. Yes,
Okay. Okay.
we have 3 kids together.
That's what you said, 3 kids. Okay. So for that time frame, right?
Right.
So I guess for that time frame, did you guys discuss marriage prior to you proposing as far as
We
what the
discussed marriage before we had kids. Yes,
okay
that
before
was we didn't have kids till we were together about 3.5 years. So we talked about marriage before then, and ever since we've had kids, I don't know, one thing after another, we just haven't got married yet.
mm. And what year did you propose to her out of those years of a relationship? What year?
I think 2017, maybe 2016, somewhere around there.
Hmm. 2016, 2017. But how many years into your relationship? I mean, that just tells me the
Oh,
actual.
about 3.5 years or so.
Oh, okay. So 3 years in, you asked to
Yeah.
propose. Okay, so studies have shown that men wait about that time. They about 3 years to to propose and to get married. Like 2 to 3 years, two on the 2 to 3 on the minimum side. You know, well, minimum to maximum. You know what I'm saying? So they're saying that that's typically the average these days. You know, so some women would say, hey, 3 years is too long. You know, what do you say to that?
Nah, I don't think it's long enough sometimes.
All right. Comment. I'll get back to you in a second. Okay. All right.
Okay.
We have somebody new. We have somebody new who just jumped on the panel. Brooklyn, how you doing, Brooklyn?
Hey, how are you?
Good, good. Hey, I like to let people know the rules are before they come up. Okay, and
Okay.
that is, watch your language, no cursing, TikTok guidelines. Okay, respect the host, respect each other. All right, and you can answer the question. Are men taking too long to propose? Go.
I think it kind of depends on like your age. Like if you're like over like 45, 50, like you should already kind of know. But if you're kind of younger, like 20, 20 to 25, then you're probably going to take a little longer. But like people kind of already know. Like I was engaged for a while and like I feel like he would have married me like right then and there, but I kind of knew like deep down that like I we just still had a lot of problems to work out, so I just kind of was like I my situation is kind of similar to common sense. Like I was the holdup, you know what I mean? But um yeah, I think it kind of just depends on your age though.
Okay. I mean, everything in context. I understand. Let me get to some. Let me get to my co-host. He just popped in, Mr. Yard Chat. How you doing, Mr. Yard Chat?
What's up? What's up, man? How are you?
What's going on? As you can see, the topic I sent it to you yesterday. Are men taking too long to propose? Before anybody else speaks, since you're my co-host, you want to kind of give your opinion on that?
It depends, man. It depends. It depends on one standard, what they're looking for, the reason why they get married. You know what I mean? It depends. Everyone have their personal choice that they have to, they have to make a decision. So you know what I mean? To be honest, I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for no one else. But everyone have to make that decision. How long it takes. That's on them. How to be honest, that's how if they want to work it fast, they want to work it slow, medium, whatever. But why spend time, or why waste time when you could be with that person?
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I'll get more into that. Anissa.
Hi. So, my name is Anissa. It's nice to meet you guys. So,
Anissa, how you doing?
I'm
The
good.
rule. I think you've been in the chat for a while, so you've heard the rules. Okay,
Yes, I heard the
so
rule.
you can go ahead and answer the prompt. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So, I'm Muslim, right? So, in my culture, we don't date. We get married. So there's no there's no dating culture. So, typically there is not like there's not like a really long like waiting period between the term that you're interested in somebody and then y'all get married. So it's kind of like it's not a culture shock to me because I was raised in America, but it's like I know it's different. It's like a cognitive dissonance between what I see versus what is like my culture.
Okay, I can rock with that. Coach Remy, you there?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Coach Remy? Hey, I have the rules are, no cursing, no foul language. Respect the host, which is me and Mr. Yard Chat, and respect each other. All right, you can answer the prompt. Are men taking too long to propose? Go ahead.
I think so, and there's a couple reasons why. As Sister Anissa, I am a Muslim as well, and I'm with her. We don't have a long. I, Let me just say this first. There's a very huge difference between dating and courting, and I think in the dating world, any and everything goes, right? When you court, you're courting with the intentions on marrying. So I am a sister that's in the Nation of Islam, right? And so our courtship process, right, is between 3 to 9 months or 3 months to 6 months. It just depends, right? Because it's 3 months to court your prospective person, and then you have that period where you're planning your wedding. However, during that course of time, there's no snacks. There's none of that. You're actually taking that person to court, meaning that you're coming to the table already with the intentions that, okay, we are ready to get married, and so this is how we're moving, right? And so you are engaged in a process where you're actually getting to know the person. Most of the time when people are dating in the dating world, it's anything goes. You can live together, you can have babies, you can do all these sorts of things. And so once you introduce Mex to the relationship, you then intoxicating yourself because you're not able to really fully see the person the way that you need to see them because you're intoxicated with the physical. And so when the sister said, it depends on your age and all that, in Islam, people are getting married at 19, 20 years old. So when you understand that marriage is a sacred institution, right? And you move in that type of way. But I think men today, men are a little hesitant to propose simply because men look for women that's going to add substance and value to their life. And majority of the time, that's not what they're getting. So I think that they're taking longer because they are themselves seeing that there's not a whole bunch to choose from. Sadly, okay, there's not a whole bunch for brothers to choose from um, in the dating world because you got these modernized women that's coming with the mindset that they come with, and men are not looking for men via women to be married to. They are looking for women that are going to be I want to use the word submissive, but we get kind of touchy when you say that. I'll just say cooperative. They're looking for cooperative women that's going to work with them to bring about the best possible exchange in terms of them getting married. And I just don't think men are seeing that today.
I can rock with that. We got a new person who just popped up. Terrian Jones. You there?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Is that how I say your name?
Yeah, Terrion.
Terrion. There we go. Terrion, you can answer the question before you get into the discussion with everybody else, okay? Are men taking too long to propose?
Me personally, I feel like when you really like sit down and really look at it, like there's like no advantages or anything like that for men to marry women. Like it's not gonna change my life if I marry a woman. I'm the same man, married or not married. So I don't get why they like to pressure a lot of people into going into like. For me, like I don't want to be a part of the system in no way. I'm working on trying to lead this damn country. I don't want to be here. So I'm not going to keep tying myself to the United States government. Then, like, what if I don't want to be with that person no more? You mean to tell me I got to go sit down in white people's face and tell them why I don't want to be with this person no more? Like, it's too much. I feel like a lot of people and men really just don't want to fucking deal with. They don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah, just make sure you
And
watch that F word, okay? Can't
my
curse
bad,
up
bro.
here, all right? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I just feel like men don't want to be a part of it. It's not they scared to get heartbroken or any. It's like they just don't want to be a part of it, and there's no advantages for men in marriages at all. Like, I can't even think of one.
You mean
Like,
like you mean like no, not so much advantages, you mean like no benefits. Is that what you mean?
yeah, because like before marriage was used for like, say for wealthy people, it was really used for wealthy people because it's like if I'm coming to the table with this and you're coming to the table with this, we're gonna collab and then we're gonna make something even better. I don't feel like a marriage is me coming to the table with everything and a woman coming to the table with little to nothing and I just take care of her. To me, that's not a marriage.
Okay.
That's like
All right.
that's just you taking on another dependent, and you're already gonna have dependents anyway because you're gonna have children. So it's like why? Like I don't know.
All right, I can hear that. Yo, TMC, you there?
Yeah, what's going on, bro?
All right, what's going on, brother? All right, so I like to explain the rules to everybody who's new up here, okay? And that is, no foul language, no cursing, respect the host, respect each other, all right? Answer the prompt before you get into the conversation with everybody else. In your opinion, are men taking too long to propose? Go.
Yeah, I think they are. I think that typically it was something that men were had reservation about. I guess throughout the different generations for different reasons. But specifically now, um, well, first in regards to what the last brother that was just talking said, I think that there is tremendous benefit to being married. Um, the problem is finding the right woman to get married to. But like it's something you wouldn't really want to understand unless you're in, as far as like the benefits and depending on your belief system and stuff like that. But outside of that, uh, I'm in the construction industry and I'm in management. So I go out there to the field and just chop it up with the guys and stuff. And right now, one of my guys, he's going through a divorce because him and his wife agreed to work, that she was going to stay at home, be a stay at home person. They didn't have any kids, they just had two dogs. So he said, all right, in order to supplement our income, uh, he's an electrician. He was like, I'm going to go and do electrician work on the road. He said, I'm going to take 3 jobs. They're about 6 to 8 months apiece. So half of the year or close to 8 months out the year, he's gone. And he did that for 3 years. By that third one, she had already moved out the house and found her new man and stuff like that. So like when men look at it, the very thing that women want or have been wanting their whole life, at some point they no longer want it, depending on the divorce numbers and stuff like that. And so you want a man to provide, uh, but if he provides, then you can either be happy or he can have time. And sometimes you can't have both of them. So it's like, at the end of the day, what do you really want? So the men are a lot more reserved than they used to be. And then social media has allowed us to see how women actually move and think a lot more than previous times. So men are just like the last brother said, like, what's the benefit? There is benefit, but they're questioning it.
Okay, I got everybody up here. If y'all want to speak some more, ask each other questions, y'all go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I think there's tremendous benefits in being married. Like you have companionship. Like when I think about it, I think about if something is to happen to the person that you're in love with, you need legal representation so that way you can ensure that everything will go as smoothly as you need it to go. So like when my cousin, his wife passed away, because they were married, her mother or her sisters, nobody couldn't like nobody could make decisions on what was going to happen with her. Her husband was able to make sure that she had all of her rights, like in her funeral, the way she wanted it. You get what I'm saying? Like you don't want to be in a hospital and your spouse or the person that you're in love with, you can't make any final decisions because you don't have any legal representation. That's one of the things that I think about.
I mean, marriage is not the only way to have that though. You can literally put stuff in your kids' names. You can do all kind of stuff. You can write a will. You don't have to be married to write a will. You don't have to be married to pass down stuff to your loved ones. Like to me, like I was saying, and in the past when our ancestors did get married, we didn't get married under the United States government. The government was not involved in marriage. The government is not supposed to be involved in marriage. What don't y'all understand about that?
But see, like,
How
we don't have a problem.
hold on. How is our oppressors gonna be involved in our marriages? That's total destruction. This is what people don't know and understand. It's insane. How is the United States government, our oppressors, involved in our marriages?
The same way that
Right,
they
you
are
don't have no
involved,
answer to that.
the
You
same
don't,
way
my
that they
nigga. You
are.
can try to make up something, but there's no reason for them to be involved in our marriages.
Ariana,
Hey,
it's
hey,
not
Well,
on
well,
topic.
Like, what the
Terrion, let
fuck?
him
We
land.
can.
Yeah, let him
If
land.
that's the
Let him
case,
land,
we can.
Terrion.
We can write down our own contracts and stuff like that. We can create our own marriage. We don't need the government to do that.
But the government wasn't the
Yeah,
originators of marriage. Marriage was happening. Like I
yeah.
like.
I mean, so look, that Hebrew Israelite rhetoric really
I
at
ain't
work
said
because
shit
you get
about
a
Hebrew Israelite, bro. What are you talking about?
Language, bro.
because
Language.
Ariane, you still want to
we get
answer?
businesses. The government is in our business. We got to get driver's license and all this other stuff, and so that's the one area where we're like, okay, hold on, I don't want the government in my business. Like, it's BS to me.
I mean, that's your personal opinion. Shit, I respect your opinion. But I'm saying I don't want the government in my business.
I, I think
I
I
don't
think
want them to dictate. I don't want them to have a say so on nothing that has to do with me and my partner. Nothing. I don't want to go in court and look at these people in their face and they decide my fate. They decide whether I get to have my children or not. They decide whether I get to lose my house that I paid for, right? Because, if I'm the so-called breadwinner, I paid for that house, not the woman. I don't want to be involved in that, bro.
I think
This is
what I
real life and this is facts. Forget your feelings, bro. This is real life and facts.
Can I ask you a
what
question?
Like, people is weird. If y'all want to,
I
if
what
y'all
I
want to be
think.
in daddy government, y'all want them all in y'all business, and y'all do that. My
But
thing
you
is,
know
don't
what?
try to push all that stuff on other people, bro. Everybody don't have to submit to what you submit to. If
I
you want
think
to get
what I
married, if you want to check in with the government, if you want to renew marriage licenses and do all that stuff, that's you, bro.
I brother, can I
God bless
speak?
you.
Can I speak, brother? I think, and to your defense, right?
And I
You
already said I'm
do.
trying to leave the country. Y'all still trying to be here.
Hey, Terrion, can you hear me? Terrion, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, you got to let other people talk. They're trying to ask you something. Okay, go ahead, Coach.
I think to the brother defense, right? You do have a lot of people that feels the way that he feels, and rightfully so, right? However, right, this is the land that you live in, and there are certain laws that we have to abide by living in this here United States of America, right? And so you get if you find a woman that has absolutely no qualms about what it is that you say in terms of how you want to do your situation, praise be to Allah. Go ahead and do hell, be happy and do you, right? Be happy. But at the end of the day, whatever decision that you make, it has to be your decision. It has to be your decision. So in defense of the brother, I'm I'm going to say if that's what he believes and that's how he feels, then that's how he believes and that's how he feels. And I think oftentimes when we mound these panels and then we have a opposing viewpoint, um, we end up not knowingly taking the stance of creating a situation where we are taking someone else's self-determinism away from them. He's his own being. He is his own spiritual being. For whatever reasons, his experiences, his thoughts, his emotions, whatever reasons that he feels that he does not want the government in his affairs, then that should be accepted. And for those of us that feels like, okay, this is how we want to do, and I want to go to the courthouse and get marriage license and get married, praise be to Allah, either or. And if he finds a woman that's on board with him and how he wants to live his life, then I mean, so be it. In his defense, I'm just
But
being
it's not
devil's
about if
advocate.
you find a woman. There's billions of women on the earth, and
I'm, brother. I
all of us don't
listen,
submit to religion either. All of us don't
brother,
believe in the
brother,
Arab man's religion.
brother,
All of us don't
brother.
believe in all of this pagan
Brother,
religions.
I said in
You feel me?
defense of you. I said in defense of you. And whoever believes in whatever they believe in, again, they can do that because they can exercise their own self-determinism. That's it. That's it. The end of my story. Thank you, brother, for letting me speak.
Mr. Yarchat, you had something to say?
Yeah. We all have feelings, right? We all feel a certain way, right? But we can't act on our feelings. We can't walk around with our feelings on our sleeve because the world don't care. Nothing you could do or say to change reality right now. It is what it is. What it is, people need the proper equipment and tool to survive in this world, present time. People who not equipped and don't know what time it is, physically, spiritually, are complainers. My people perish for what? For the lack of knowledge. Accountability is a big word that we don't want to, we run from. We all have feelings, decisions, this and that, but guess what? It doesn't matter how you feel, the world gonna go on. Complainers don't work hard enough because you're still complaining. You're not gonna change, oh, you don't want the government. The government is now business anyway. That's reality, brother. So you could complain, oh, I don't want this, I don't want marriage. The government is here. There's nothing you're gonna do about it. But what I could tell you what is, you better equip yourself. Because the more you complain, or you changing anything, you cannot. See, you're worrying about something you can't change. Why don't you focus on the things that you can change and make your life much better? You're worrying about everybody else, but you're not taking care of yourself. Secure, as they say, self-preservation, right? So keep complaining. Everybody's going to get the knowledge, and you complaining. So choose what you're going to do. It's your choice.
You done, bro?
I'm done. I'll land.
All right, so not once did I ever complain. I said that if you want to go down that rabbit hole, you go down to that rabbit hole, and you have the choice to do that. Where did I complain to anybody? And obviously the government is in our business no matter what. That's not what I said, in case you weren't listening. What I said, and I also said that I'm working on leaving the United States because I know America is falling. I know this nation is not going to last that much longer. See, this is things that I know. So I'm not going to keep attaching myself to this nation. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be involved in it. That's what I said. I'm not complaining. I never complained about marriage or why I don't want to get married or none of that. I said I don't want to be a part of the system. I didn't say I don't want to get married. I can get married under my own terms. That does not involve the United States government. That does not involve our oppressors. So you just came up, and you're way older than me. You just came up here talking some BS, bro.
What system are you running?
You just came up here talking some BS.
What system are you
That
running?
is crazy, my nigga.
I'm listening. What system you running from?
You said what?
What system are you running from?
What do you mean?
You said you're running from the system. So what system are
I
you
said
running
I didn't say I was running from the system. I said I'm trying to get away from the system. I don't want to be in the. I don't want to be in the American system. I don't want to work their jobs no more. I already make passive income.
So where you gonna
I already
go?
own a duplex that produces me
Where
over
are you gonna
$2,000 a month.
Where are
So
you gonna
I'm
go?
building up my passive income. It's not your business. I'm building up my passive income so I don't have to work no more. So I don't have to be a part of the system. So I can go live and travel and do whatever I want with my life. That's
You
what I
see-
want to do.
you
What you're
see-
talking about is some complete BS. I don't know what you on.
Listen. The thing is, what I'm trying
You
to
tweaking,
get
yeah?
to you. The thing that I'm trying to get to you is this: you want to get away from the American Western blah 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 system. You don't want to be in the system. But what I'm trying to make you see, it's a world system. You cannot run from it. Doesn't matter where you live, where you hide, where you have money, you have this, you have that, you have that. It's a world system.
Bro, that's not what I said either, bro. You can go live in Thailand for $400 a month. You can go
I
eat. Hold
guess
on,
I
hold on,
land. I
hold on.
land.
You can
I
go,
guess
and
you're not
I'm not
seeing
a
my point,
passport girl.
bro.
I'm going to go live a better life.
You're not
Forget
seeing
these
my
women.
point,
I don't
bro.
care about these women.
Okay.
I want to eat real fruits and vegetables. I want my produce to be real produce from God that grows from the earth. I want to wake up on the beach. I want to have sunlight all year round. This is my reasoning of why I want to do that. I'm trying to connect back with nature. I'm trying to get back in tune with myself because I know who I am. Like I said, y'all want to continue to be a part of these systems and stuff that it don't benefit us. It don't do nothing for us. Nothing.
Carry if you have all this stuff going on, like, why do you seem so angry? Are you like angry at other people because
I never said I
they
was.
live
When?
in the
How?
government, but you're like
What are you?
really,
See, what are you talking about?
you're
How am
Hey,
like
I
really
angry?
wait, hold on,
angry.
y'all. Hold on one second. Hold on. Before he answers that, because I am going to give him a chance to answer that. Zacchaeus, you've been waiting for a while. Zacchaeus, what's your opinion on men taking too long? Go ahead, brother.
Hey, I'm just gonna be here quickly. Men taking
Yeah,
too long.
to
Um,
propose. Yeah.
they're taking. I don't think they're taking too long. I think it's about taking your time because whoever you allow in your life could affect your whole life. Whoever you allow into your doors or into your life can definitely be a big, huge impact. Whether they can compliment is either this, whether they can compliment you or they can be your own demise. So yes, I agree with taking your time, and I don't think that they're taking too long. I think it's because the way how the world is, the way how people think now is differently to how people used to think way back then. So yes, they're taking their time. Yes, and I agree with it because, like I said before, and I'm gonna say it again, whoever you allow in your life can affect your whole entire life. They either could bless it or they could put a curse on it. And that's my take on it. So yes, men, I agree with people taking their time to get married because it's a serious thing. Serious thing.
Okay, passport, you're new up here. I just like to explain the rules, okay? No cursing, no foul language. Respect the host, which is me and Mr. Yard Chat in the small box here. And answer the prompt before you get into the conversation with everybody else. And then I'm going to let Brooklyn go back to what she was saying with Terry on, all right? Go ahead, passport.
All right.
Are men
Yeah,
taking too long to propose?
from a passport bro, red pillar, patriarchal, traditional man, atheist, anti-rainbow perspective. Uh, anytime a product or whatever you're dealing with is not of the value that you want, you're going to be hesitant. If you're trying to buy a car, if you're not sure about that car, you'll be like, I don't know, it's got problems. Would you be quick to take a flight when there's a 50% chance of crashing? In America, the chances of divorce is 50%. So you think we supposed to be in a rush to marry these American women? You know the type of American women that's always filing for a divorce? The talking about group risk assessment here. We're talking about verbal abuse. We're talking about masculinity. We're talking about I need no man. I don't need no man. Who the hell is going to be in a rush to marry that? She should be lucky that he's even thinking about proposing. Okay, but look at it like this: it's group risk assessment. Immigrant women have like a 20% divorce rate. When they come to America through marriage with an American man, I think it's a 24% divorce rate. Now that's a little more promising, right? We have to look at the risk factors. Why be so in a rush to marry a high risk group? They're a high risk group. High rates of divorce, high rates of cruelty, high rates of disrespect. Be thankful that he's even thinking about marrying you with your statistics. So I land.
All right, hey, Brooklyn, you and Terry on were talking. Go ahead, Brooklyn, and I'm going to let Shauna speak.
I just wanted to know why Tyrion was so mad. Like, he's just so angry. Like if he got all this stuff going on, just go to Thailand. Like, what are you so mad for?
First off, I gave an example. Once again, I'm gonna say it again. I gave an example. So nothing I said was mad. I was responding to everybody. I haven't called nobody a cussing word. I haven't called nobody up a name. So how are you gonna sit up here and say that I'm so-called angry or
You
whatever?
was cussing,
Because
and you
I
called a
said
couple
I
people
don't
names.
agree or I don't submit to what y'all submit to, and that's okay. I don't have to agree
But
or
this is
submit to
not the
what you.
livelihood.
If you want to go get married, if you want to go down to the courthouse and do all that and sign papers and pay to get married and do all this other stuff, you do that. That's on you. Congratulations. I
If
never
you
talk
want to
down
go
on
to
nobody that wants to get
Thailand, have
married. I never
fun.
talk down on you if you want to get married. I said that's not me. That's not what I want to do. That's not what I want to attach myself to. I do not want to attach myself to an Americanized wedding, to an Americanized marriage. There's no benefits for. I'd rather go get married in another country. Shit, if you ask me. Because in America, there's no benefits for us. There is no advantages. There's nothing like. We're getting this stuff before even the marriage. So like, what is we talking about? So if I choose to marry you, because it's my choice if I want to marry you or not, what is the next
Thank
steps
you.
for me? It's not like, oh my God, my life's gonna change drastically. We're gonna do this. We're gonna no, like, what the fuck? We can get spiritually married. You don't have to. You don't have to sign a contract to get married. Half these people don't even know the laws of the United States, but they quick to go sign a marriage contract. You don't even know your You don't even know your laws. Like
All right,
I don't know, bro.
all right, Terion, just hold that thought. Shana, is it Shana or Shana?
It's Kana.
Kana?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so you've been in the chat long enough, you know the rules, okay? So
Oh,
are
I actually
men
don't know
take
your rules. I didn't hear your rules.
okay. I didn't know at what point did you join the panel, but so
Mm-hmm.
for anybody who joins the panel, no
Mm-hmm.
cursing, no foul language, TikTok guidelines, okay? Respect
Yes,
the
sir.
host, respect each other, all right? And you can go ahead and answer the prompt. And then I got to get to 3 new people who joined the panel, and then we'll get back to the open discussion, all right? All right, go
Yes,
ahead,
sir.
Kana.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And nice to meet you, host. Thanks for letting me on your panel as well. And you don't have to worry about me cussing out and disrespecting nobody over here unless they just get triggered by what I say. But anyway, so I like the prompt. This is one of the common conversations that I have in my book club with my ladies. Are men taking too long to propose? It depends, but yes, they are taking a while to propose. And I believe that they have a reason as to why they are taking some time to propose. As all of the people up here already said, like the passport, bro, there are a high chances of, divorces and women who don't need men and things of that sort. You have a 70% divorce rate that are driven by women as well. So if a man doesn't take his time today, then you might just be walking into a burning house. So, use wisdom, of course, vet well, be intentional. And if you see that the woman that you're trying to be with to marry is not where you want her to be, ain't no sense of wasting time. But we are having men that are waiting a little longer than 3 to 6 months. Back in the day, yeah, it was possible. You can marry a wife in a month, 3 months, or 6 months to a year, right? It was fast, but that it was more wives back then too. They have more of a wife selection, especially here in America. But a lot of black women, in particularly, and women, period, modern women, they're not available for marriage. They say they don't want marriage. So a man has to dance around all that and really do a thorough examination on the woman that he's picking up, and so should she. She should also be doing the same thing to make sure that she is not involving herself with a certain type of man. So that's the woman, but we're talking about why men do it. And I don't believe that men don't want to be married. I think they just want to find a woman to be married to that's truly a wife. And I don't think that they see wives. I think that they see modern women who keep saying they don't need men. They choose their careers over family. They want to go have fun first. And when you say all these things and men hear it, when you want to go do that, men are hearing, okay, well, you just going to be out there laying around. And a lot of times, even with these women who have PhDs and college degrees and all of that, and they get the money, it's like you can't even have a conversation with a female like that. So a woman like that becomes more feminist minded. She becomes more masculine, and men just are running out of options and they're just taking their time. It's not that they're trying to persecute the woman. They're just trying to be sure that that's the woman for them. All right. So that's my take on that.
All right, Miss Polly, you can go.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I agree with that, but you said just for the answer to prompt, not reply. But are men taking too long? I do think they're taking quite a bit of time to kind of weigh out if that person's worth it. And I actually don't think that's a bad thing to do. It's right now like it's a little bit more negative outcome if it doesn't work out. And if it doesn't work out in a shorter period of time, it is an issue, right? And most people who want to get married legally, I'll say legally married, the benefits right now aren't really benefit enough. Like the gentleman said before, like a lot of the benefits of getting married, you are already getting those benefits when you're not. So then if you had to think about like, well, what in addition am I getting for being legally bounded to somebody? That there isn't much, especially for men, that they're getting out of that. So I can see why it's taking them a lot longer, and they're trying to think about if they even want to do it at all. So I think they are taking a lot longer if they even want to do it anymore. And they're probably going to wait till they get older to do it too, where they can feel a little bit better about making those decisions. That's what I think for now.
Okay, T, you next. Go ahead. Are men taking too long to propose? Go ahead, brother. T, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I do believe that men in today's society here in America are taking longer to get married, but there's, a lot of factors into why that is. I mean, when you think of like how long does it take to actually know a person? There's people who are married that, come to find out that they don't actually know their spouse. So it takes a while to actually know someone, and come to the decision that this is a woman that, that they want to marry. But also, something that I heard earlier is, these statistics on divorce, those play a factor into why men take a while. And then also, I don't know the statistics on it, but compared to, many years ago, people are growing up in broken homes. So when they grow up in broken homes where there's a single parent or their parents divorced, they tend to see that marriage doesn't work. So they, grow up with the idea of marriage is it's not worth it. Some people change and get out of that, but those things play major parts in why men are taking a while to get married. But also, what is the rush? What is the rush into getting married? If you want to get married and spend the rest of your life with somebody, why rush that? Why would men want to rush into marriage? It for at least for the men's side of it, it's not beneficial if it doesn't work out. The courts are in favor of the woman, and most times they benefit. So, all these things play a part into why men are getting married or taking a while to propose. But also, legally married, that there's things called common law marriage where you don't even have to go down to a courthouse. You don't have to throw a big wedding to be married. You can, here, I live in Texas, and here in Texas, it's very easy to be under common law marriage. It's very simple. It's almost as if the two parties, the man and the woman, just agree on calling themselves married. So there's those other avenues on being married that I don't think a lot of people even consider, because of I think women have they have this big fantasy of the big wedding, and I think it's all that stuff is just for other people to pretty much show other people that I got chosen, where marriage shouldn't even, other people shouldn't even factor into the marriage. It should just be the only two people it should concern is the man and the wife. But society tends to shape people's opinions on what they think that they want. And also, most people don't know what they want. Most men don't know what they want until till they do. So so men are today taking a while, but it's not a simple just, men are just taking a while just because they are. There's a lot of things that go into it.
All right, Amina, how you doing? Amina, you there?
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Um,
You can go ahead and answer the prompt. Are men taking too long to propose? And then after you is going to be Marie. All right, go ahead.
okay, so I was listening to a lot of you guys. I don't think that men are taking too long. I think a lot of women want to get married because of what they're seeing on social media. So they may feel like I have to have it tomorrow. And it's not mostly about the wedding or the marriage, it's about the day of the wedding. However, I do feel like, as a woman personally, when I met my husband, I let him know, like, within 2 years, if we don't feel like this is heading to marriage, then we should separate. I feel like as women, we should put a time frame on what we want. And it may not happen in 2 years. Then you revisit the conversation and say, hey, do you feel like we're heading to marriage, or is this something where, we're probably gonna take some more time? If as a woman I feel like I'm willing to take more time to see if this is going to go to marriage, then that's what you can do. But as far as men taking too long, I don't think that you guys, if you're with a woman and you see it's not going anywhere, don't waste her time. Because a lot of times we get into relationships and we spend more time than we should with someone that the situation isn't going anywhere. Naturally, I feel like you start dating. It's steps and it's milestones in a relationship. If we're not hitting certain milestones, then what are we doing? You date, then you be committed in a relationship. That's my man, I'm his woman. And then it's marriage. If you want to have kids, some women don't believe in having kids out of marriage. So it's like, I think it depends on the person. So as a man, if this is what you want to do, then do it. If it's not, then don't do it. But don't expect the woman to stick around if you're not taking the next step to marry her.
All right, Marie, you can go ahead. I like to explain the rules. Okay, Marie, you there?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. For anybody new who comes up here, and then I'm gonna open up the panel as soon as you talk. Right after you talk, okay? Um, are men taking too long to propose? So when you come up here, no cursing, no foul language. Respect the host, which is me and Mr. Yard Chat, and respect each other. Okay? You can go ahead and answer the prompt. Go ahead.
Thank you. I think it just really depends on the man that you're with at the end of the day, because I was dating some guy and we were together for 3 years, and I was like, hey, like, what are we going towards? Because I don't want to waste my time. And like one day he's like, oh, you're my girlfriend. Another day he's like, well, you're my friend that's a girl. And he played too many games, whatever. So I went to my husband and we were married within the year. So I just feel like if he's serious and that's what a man wants, he wants marriage, he'll act on that. And if he's not sure what he wants, he'll take his time. But like Amina was saying before me, you also have to understand that if you're taking your time and she don't want to stay around anymore, then she doesn't have to stay around anymore, because, like, time can't get given back. So like, don't waste my time. If you want to, feel me out and see how we work together and stuff, I get it. Like, I don't think no one should rush into it, because I mean the divorce rates are high these days. But also I feel like, I think the biggest fear is like, I just don't want to waste my time. So we're going to be dating for 5 years and get nothing out of it. It sounds kind of crazy to me, but I think if the man knows what he wants, he'll marry when, quickly. If he doesn't know what he wants, he's going to take his time. And then as a woman, you just need to know, like, when your limit is. So, like she said before, if in 2 years, we're not on the same page, and we need to split up. And that's that. Also, not having kids before y'all actually get married, which is a whole nother topic. But I mean, I feel like people have kids and then they rush into marriage too. Or I feel like, people expect that if you're not married, it's not serious. So then people don't respect the relationship. Because I've heard people be like, well, when you're in a relationship, you're still dating until you're married. And so it's like, oh, well, if we're not married, it's not serious. And so I want to get married so it can be serious. But y'all don't even know if y'all like each other. For real. So, yeah. So if the man's ready to marry, he'll marry. And if not, then maybe that's why it takes a little bit longer. But
All right, y'all can go ahead. I think Kana has something to say. Y'all can talk to each other.
I'm just wanted to respond about something I had said a few weeks ago about wasting a woman's time. No one can waste your time. You are the CEO of your life. Just like the young lady said, she gave herself a time period. If nothing transpiring between her time frame, then you pull yourself out that situation. I don't think that men are thinking, oh, you got to stay. No, they ain't thinking that. It doesn't matter what he thinks. It's what you propose to yourself and say that this is what you're going to accept. We're not going to keep putting this blame off on somebody else. We got to take self accountability. Your time is your time. If it's going to be 6 months and he ain't made a move and you don't think that's appropriate for you, move on. If you're giving yourself a year, if you're giving yourself a week, I don't care. That is your time. You are the CEO of your life. And when you set your rules, you set your rules. Some women, though, I will say this, you do that to yourself. You waste your own time. And when a man is in a relationship with you and he's tagging you along, or you feel like he's tagging you along, you're allowing yourself to be tagged along. That is you. Because you have the power, you have the wherewithal, you should have the wherewithal to disconnect yourself emotionally, because that's the reason why a lot of you women don't disconnect. A lot of us women don't disconnect because we are hoping it'll turn around. He treat me so well. We go out to eat all the time. I'm just having a good time and I'm just going to ride this out. And then you turn around and you say, he wasted my, oh,
I was agreeing with that.
Hold on, let me finish. You were enjoying the benefits of the time that you were with him, but it's not. It's not. It's
a lot of these men. You're just not doing it for them. So if you're not doing it for them, they're going to be hesitant. But he can meet another woman that's really impressed him. He'll marry her fast. So it's not. It's usually that they just won't tell you. They won't tell you that, well, I'm not sure about you. They're not going to tell you that, but that's likely what they're thinking. The following are high risk for never getting married. and this goes to any group. So if you fall among this high risk group, the truth is he hesitated to marry you because you're one of the high risk groups. Single moms are less likely to get married. According to studies, the chance of single mom getting married is lower than women with no kids. Being overweight, women who are overweight have a lower chance of getting married. All right, people who live together, cohabiting, unmarried, are less likely to get married. So if you're living with a guy and you're not engaged and you're not married, you most likely won't get married, right? People with mental disorders less likely to get married. Anxiety, depression. But in America, most women are overweight, so that explains the low marriage rates. Most moms are single moms. That explains the low marriage rate. 36% have at least one mental disorder. American women have high rates of high risk traits. So it's because of their decisions. You decide to have a baby
Can I
without
ask a
marriage.
question?
Now you're even less likely to get marriage. Hold on, I'm almost done.
That's
So
why we
when you
shouldn't
have
take
babies
everything to
outside
heart.
of marriage, you're going to diminish your chances of getting married. If you're living with somebody unmarried, you're going to decrease your chances of getting married. Oh, I forgot about this. Wealthy men are more likely to get married. Broke men are less likely to get married. Older men are more likely to get married. Younger men are less likely to get married. So when a woman makes more than a man, the chances of divorce drastically increases. When the man makes more than a woman, substantially more than a woman, we have some of the lowest divorce rates. So if you marry a wealthy man, matter of fact, if you're wealthy, you likely won't get divorced. Women are not divorcing wealthy men, but they're divorcing broke men right and left. And that's what the stats show. So the best thing to do is don't move in with the man if you're not married. Don't be fat. Don't be a single mom. Don't have mental disorders. Don't trash your virginity. Don't get ran through. Have a good attitude. And find a wealthy man. The chances of you getting married is higher. I'll end.
All right, my brother Charles just popped up here. Charles, you already know the rules. You can just go ahead and answer the prompt. Are men taking too long to propose? Go ahead, brother. Charles, Mr. Charles, you there? Mr. Charles.
You're not
Okay, I don't
talking
know
to
what
me, are you?
happened.
Because I just spoke.
No, there's a brother next to you by the name of Charles Vale.
Wait, y'all didn't hear me talking the whole... Okay,
We
all right.
heard you, Passport. We heard you. I'm just trying to get to one of my supporters. Yo, Charles Vale, you there?
I have a question for Passport.
Okay, you go ahead, Amina. I'll get to Charles when he's ready. Go ahead, Amina.
In a lot of, like, when you're talking, you talk a lot about, like, American women. So I guess my question is, have you only lived in America? Because when you want to compare American women to other women, you have to have something to compare it to. So if you've never been anywhere outside of America, how are you saying you're just speaking on American women?
His wife not from here.
But that's only one woman.
So we're talking about, I'm assuming, right, but before that, I stopped messing with American women in 2016. Since 2016, I've deliberately avoided American women. So, but before then, I had a lot of American women, a whole bunch of them. So I have experience from American women and foreign women, and I'm talking about it. Could somebody mute, please? Could you mute? Yeah. So, could somebody mute him? Because I don't know where that noise is coming from. Yeah, but anyway, since we're talking about, I'm assuming most people are American on here, so I'm specifically talking about American because you people are Americans. So I have to address American problems, right? Why would I talk about groups of other women that don't have your problems? I'm telling you what your problems are because you're American. What I mentioned diminishes your chances of getting married. being overweight, being a single mom, having mental disorders, broke men, DV, verbal abuse. Men are not going to marry you if you're verbally abusive. You think you're going to name call and say, "Oh yes, I want to marry her." You think you're going to say, "I'll name our man." "Oh yes, I want to marry her." That you can't be masculine and expect me to say, "Oh, I can't wait to marry her. She just name called me and I can't wait to marry her." Okay, that's not going to happen. Anyway, I land.
All right, brother Charles, you there? You good this time, Charles? He must be doing something. Pleasure, you there? Welcome back, Pleasure.
What's good, brother? How you feeling today?
I'm good, brother. You can go ahead and answer the prompt. Go ahead, brother.
Are men taking too long to propose? However long it takes you to be confident in the decision to spend the rest of your life with someone is however long it takes you. If somebody feels like it's taking you too long, then that's a clear indication that they're not the right person for you to spend the rest of your life with. If the goal is for us to be sitting together at 80 at a picnic, looking at all our family and progeny, what are we rushing for? I think the problem is a lot of people put the what in front of the who. They're such in a rush to get married that they're not focused on who they're going to marry or what it takes to stay married. My solution to this whole issue is you should be engaged by the 3rd year and you should get married in the 7th year. And the reason I say that is most divorces happen by year 7. So all these people who fell in love and found like they had their soulmate and decided to dedicate their person, by year 7, they realized they made a huge mistake. But if you can date somebody, court somebody, love somebody, build with somebody up until year 7, everything that happens after that should be a piece of cake. And again, if the goal is for us to spend our lives together, what are we rushing for? And I understand the argument is, I don't want to waste my time with somebody I'm not going to be with. The question that I ask is, between Goldie Hawn and Elizabeth Taylor, who wasted more time? That's it.
Anthony Reyes is new. Anthony Reyes, you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks for being patient, man. I had to let people up who I know get priority, okay? Because I've been waiting for them to come over here. But brother, you can go, and I think you've been in the chat long enough to hear the rules, okay?
Yes, sir.
So, are men taking too long to propose? Oh, before I let you go. So this topic was inspired by Pleasure, because when Pleasure was on my last show, you know, there were women who said, you know, 3 is too long to get engaged, and then year 7 is too long to get married. So this is kind of his fault in a good way to why I got this topic today. You know what I'm saying? So they're saying that recent studies show that men are waiting 3 years to get engaged. And they were talking about the factors. The main factor was financial reasons. You know, men waiting until they're financially comfortable to take on a wife and possibly start a family. And then there's other factors as well, but I just want to mention that. All right, so Anthony, you can go ahead and go.
Yeah, how you doing, panel? Thank you for letting me on. I think that statistics show that when you meet a woman, men typically know a lot faster than women may think. We typically know if the woman that we're dating at the moment is somebody that we can see ourselves spending the rest of our life with. But like the gentleman in the corner said, I believe that you have to really vet these people for a very long time. And since the divorce rates are so high, and this is somebody that you plan on spending the rest of your life with, it's such an important decision. And I also think that a man shouldn't be dating somebody if it's not with the intention of marrying that person. And if you have that intention and you see the signs are always there, you know, everybody knows the saying that if somebody tells you who you are, believe them. And I think that a lot of men tend to stay in relationships a lot longer than they should when they know that the relationship is not really going to work out. But, you know, men are problem solvers by nature, and we tend to want to fix. And that's really not the way to go. I personally think that I've been with my girlfriend for 4 years, and we just recently get engaged. and we both agreed that we both agreed that we still should spend a little more time to really have this bond that could sustain a marriage over the long term. And financial reasons are a big part. But again, I don't think that you should be dating somebody with the intention to marry if you know that at the moment you're not in the financial situation to actually do so. So when men, and again, and then there's also a lot of men that purposely waste women's time, which I believe those are the worst type of men that know that they don't want marriage with this woman, and they lead the woman on, and then they make an excuse on why they don't marry, or maybe something, they just make stuff up really just to buy time because of maybe they like,
That too. I was like,
intimacy.
didn't even ask.
What happened? What? Excuse me?
I think if you're a man and you under 30, you shouldn't be trying to get married.
Yeah, I also believe
And
that a lot of men waste a lot of women's time, and vice versa.
yeah.
So I just think that if you're a
But it
man,
start with our parents though. Like our parents got to start protecting us from these kind of people too.
yeah, absolutely.
Our parents need to start protecting us from having babies at young ages. You
Yep.
having a baby at 18, 19 years old, and then now you expecting this man to marry you. Like, what if you're the only woman he's ever experienced, and now he's 19 with a baby?
Yep. And I
Like
also,
now, what you want him to live his entire life all the way when he's 78, he unalive, and to never cheat on you or do anything. That's why I feel like when men are younger, because most men are not having smacks. Most men don't even get looked at by women. So y'all are dealing with a lot of men who have no experience with women, with dating women. They don't have no experience with women sexually. Like they just really don't know women. So when they get one of y'all and they're super young, and now they cheating on you, now you mad, and they got married, now you trying to get a divorce. But
yeah, I
you
agree.
married this young man at 23 years old.
Yeah, that's why I don't believe
And
that
you
men
probably
should be
took his
getting married.
virginity. Like it
That's
don't
why I
make
don't believe
sense.
men should be getting married at that young age. A man should have his purpose first before he's even thinking about being in a long-term relationship, let alone a marriage. He should be purpose driven. He should be ready at that moment, at the actual moment that he meet this woman. He should physically and mentally and financially be ready to commit to this woman, even if that's not the case, and even if that doesn't happen. But if you go into a relationship and you know in your heart that you're not mentally or physically, emotionally, spiritually, and especially financially to get married, you shouldn't even be wasting that woman's time, and you shouldn't even waste your time. Your priority as a man should be to find your purpose. Once you have your purpose, that woman that is going to be your helpmate, like the Bible says, is going to elevate you to the point where you need to be. But if you get into a relationship and you do not have a purpose and you make the woman your purpose, it's just 100%, 100% of the time not going to work. So you have to have purpose first. A man's job is to find his purpose and his calling, then find a mate to help him elevate that purpose and calling. And the right woman will take a man to places that they would never go otherwise.
All right, before I open up the panel, I need to get my brother Charles' attention. Charles, you ready this time? Charles, you ready?
I think he's lagging. I think he's there because he unmuted for a second.
Yeah, he did. Hey, Charles, I'm gonna have to drop you, but you could come back because and then I'll let you back up, but I'm gonna have to drop you for the meantime because you're not speaking, okay? Let me go ahead and let you down. But you're always welcome to come in, all right?
I just been
All right,
listening.
so yeah,
Drop me.
Common, you haven't talked in a while. Go ahead, make it quick because I gotta get to two new people, Dr. Francis and Kevin. Go ahead, Common.
No, I don't got much to say right now. I'm just been listening. I like everyone's little views. Everyone's got a little twist to them, and I kind of agree with almost everyone, in a way. But I was just gonna say you can drop me because I just been listening, and you can have other people up.
No problem, Common. You're always welcome to come back. All right. Thank you. Thank
Right
you,
on.
sir.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you. No problem. Dr. Francis, you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, ma'am. I like to let people know the rules when they're new, when they come up here, okay?
Sure.
And that is respect the host, respect each other. No foul language, no cursing. You can answer the prompt before we get into the open discussion, okay? Are men taking too long to propose? Go.
I would say like everybody was saying, it depends on the financial aspect for the man who has found his woman, because men do not marry women they can live without. They have to marry someone they can live without. Very wired differently than women. We can actually learn to fall in love with someone and see that they're a good provider and good man and actually end up marrying them. But men are different. They have to be sexually attracted to the woman. And if that's not there, then everything else does not work. Of course, the personality matters too, but the attraction has to be there in order for him to look for anything else in that lady. So personality included in a whole list of other factors, and if they're acting gangster or not, or they're feminine, But in general, if the man has found the woman that he thinks he's going to marry and he's not financially ready, like my brother was not at the time, they will wait a little bit longer. So if there's any women on this panel, just because a man is waiting to marry you does not mean they're not going to marry you. Some of it's financial, some of it's other stuff. But men know pretty much within the first few dates, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, if this is the woman that they want to be with the rest of their lives, if they're in the marriage mindset. And I am a firm believer, if you are in the marriage mindset and you're courting a woman, do not do so if you're not financially ready. Because that lady, there are lots of ladies who don't know this aspect about you if you're not financially ready, and they will walk thinking you don't want to be with them. You don't want to lose a good lady because you didn't propose to them right away. Some ladies are wired that way. I mean, I understand human nature and nature of a man, nature of a woman, so I'm willing to wait, but I'm 50. I'm not looking for marriage right now. I've been divorced for 20 years and I've never sought marriage after that. But the only way I would be open to an engagement is if that man can financially provide, be a leader, and protect me, because I can do all those things by myself without a man. So they have to bring something to the table for me to take away time from my child and my animals. I have a lot of dogs, and I have a good life. I'm really, really, really happy, to be quite honest. And so I kept meeting up to the age of 45. I kept meeting the same man in a different form, such as like someone who couldn't pay for me, someone that wasn't emotionally available, or someone, if they were emotionally available, or were crazy, or stalkers, and all sorts of craziness. And I realized after not having success from the age of 19 to 45 that I'm the problem. I'm the common denominator among all those men. So I stopped. I put a dead halt on my dating relationship about 6 years ago in 2019 on purpose, because I didn't want to meet the same guy in a different color, in a different age, in a different, all the different scenarios. It was just the same person over and over and over. So I worked on myself, and this year I finally I think I found the person that I have been waiting for my whole life, because I worked on myself.
Very well said. Very well said, Doctor.
Okay, Kevin, you're next. Go ahead, Kevin. Kevin, Mr. Kevin. Mr. Kevin, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm trying to just. Oh gosh.
All right,
You
go.
there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks. Welcome to the panel. You can answer the prompt, okay? Are men taking too long to propose? Go.
I truly believe that it's situational. It's based on the person. I think putting a cookie cutter timeline on something like that is not beneficial for either side, but less beneficial for men. Here's the problem with marriage in America, and a lot of people don't like to admit the issues facing when Americans face when it comes to marriage. The problem is there's not a lot of benefit for men nowadays to seek to be married. It's just that it's another example of how traditionalism is expected on one side, because there's not a lot of women that has this virtuous mindset to even consider marriage. That's one thing. Second thing, it is harder to find virtuous women nowadays, not just because all women are bad. It's just that you can't see. It's like you try to seek out, and you have a lot of the women that claim being virtuous, but they support women that have bad behavior. It's like as soon as a man would speak on women with bad behavior, he's getting attacked by every kind of woman. Setting each other apart is one thing. It's very hard for women to do. With men, it's easy. We're not going to sit back and be okay with supporting a bum, or supporting a dude that's out there doing wrong, or supporting somebody, some dude that doesn't share our mindsets. We want to set each other apart. I mean, women are very supportive of each other. That's one aspect of why I say that issue. The other issue is you have to vet who's putting a timeline on you, because a lot of women, they just want the reward and not the work. They want the pomp and circumstance of a wedding, but don't want the mindset to be a wife. I think a lot of women just want to have this control over a power dynamic when it comes to a timeline, because if it was meant, it would happen in a certain avenue or certain arena.
Yeah.
But to push an agenda just because you want a certain thing does not make it the most beneficial thing for the situation.
I agree, Kev. Well said.
All right, Alana. Alana, you there?
I'm here.
All right, man. Thanks for coming up to the panel. You're new here. I'd like to explain the rules to anyone who is new here, okay? And that is no cursing, no foul language. Respect the host, respect each other. And you can go ahead and answer the prompt, okay? Are men taking too long to propose?
I'm gonna say yes. It seems that men, they take a little bit longer time to step into their I don't know, role is the word, or take a little bit more time to mature or fully step into the responsibility of being a man for, family or community. While women, I feel like we're kind of more taught to be in some sort of role. I mean, I was born in the 90s, and I was taught to be a certain way, but as I became an adult, I saw that that's not really what the structure is at this point. And so yes, I mean, in reference to some things that was said in the comments about women being free and things like that, if my husband never ends up finding me, I mean, what do you expect a woman that was raised up to be a wife, what do you expect her to do, once her husband, the society structure and how the world teaches men to position themselves? What do you expect her to do? So I do think men take a longer time to propose, just because they take a longer time to mature, to get in position and take responsibility in their role in general.
Okay, actionable with Mr. Hunt. Okay, Mr. Hunt, you there?
Yes, sir. What's going on, boss?
All right, thanks for coming up to the panel. All right. Are men taking too long to propose? Go.
Men are not taking too long to much longer, to the point where they don't propose. So, number one, my question is, why would you even want to get married if more than likely the woman by statistics is going to divorce you anyway? Number two, what can you get from a married woman that you can't get from an unmarried woman? You could have children, you can have a family, you can have everything, the same thing that you would have without the relationship. Number three, what men need to realize is that when you get married, you only don't get married to her, you also get married to the state. When the state gets involved, and whatever they say in the court rulings, it's binding, meaning you have to do it.
So you don't even have sovereignty over your own relationship, because the moment she get mad or bitter or in her emotions and she go to the state is going to divorce you, put whatever plans of action they want to, and you must abide by it. You are not the king of the castle. The state is. So I advise men to look at these laws, look at these law proceedings, look at the results, and then tell me why you still want to get married. And these women are trying to gaslight you, and they try to, have a lot of emotional responses of, yeah, we should get married, we should not. But you got to look at how the bottom line, men are getting screwed up. And my last point is, before, when you got married, I'm pretty sure there was a statement or a saying that goes, no hymen, no diamond. Nowadays, you have so many women who've been busted wide open by all these other men who didn't take them serious. But here you are. Here's your grand prize. You get this woman who was busted down last week for some chicken wings, but that's your wife. That's the woman that you about to marry, you about to give children, you about to give your whole commitment to. Meanwhile, she got maybe a baby daddy, a side dude. She don't even come into you a fresh package. So it's so many reasons why men need to really take a step back and say, you know what? Why get married? But I'll land with that.
All right, Mila. Welcome back, Mila.
Hey.
Hey, you can go ahead and answer the prompt, okay? And then I got to get to Pleasure, because Pleasure had a question. But go ahead, Mila.
Okay. I feel like men are taking too long to get married only because they have to sit and figure out if this is the right person for them. It's not the fact that he don't have it. It's not the fact that he don't want to do it. It's the fact that he's getting to know the person that he's going to be with forever. And not saying that all marriages last forever, but some do. In this day and age, I would prefer for a man to take his time getting to know somebody, getting engaged, staying engaged for at least 6 months to a year, then getting married. Because then you know that person inside and out. I don't care if you've been in a relationship with this person for 9 years, but once that ring on that finger, everything tends to change.
Okay. I can rock with that. Pleasure, go ahead. You had a question.
Yeah, my question was, if a woman is willing to walk away from a relationship with a man she says she wants to spend the rest of her life with because he hasn't proposed, is it fair to say that she wants to get married more than she wants to be with that man?
Absolutely.
Panel open.
It's open now. Go ahead.
I would say it's not fair. I would say that she's seeking protection. You know, the marriage, what the other guy said was he don't want to get married because the state getting your business, but the state will hold you accountable for what your responsibility is. So y'all don't want to have that extra layer of, that's why women want to get married, so they can have that protection. They can have that security, because men are not always doing what they say they will do. Just because a man say he's going to do something, that don't mean I should go ahead and give myself to him. No, let's write it down. Let's take it to the court. Let's legalize it, because who's going to hold you accountable?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, and I'll respond to real quick. 1 second. I understand what you're saying, but the thing is that when you get married through the state, it's one-sided. So the things that the men are obligated to do by the state are enforceable by law and could potentially make him lose his money and actually lose his freedom. There is no such thing that does not apply to women. So there's no punishment, there's no negative thing that can happen to a woman when she gets married legally through the state. The man's role in the state marriage is the only thing that's enforceable by law. There's nothing that says that a woman has to do anything that's enforceable by law. This is why I don't advise anybody to get married through the state. You can create your own contract. This is not a prenup. This is their own contract that you can both agree with, that has nothing to do with the state, and you would get all the benefits.
That's not true, and it depends on your state.
Hold on, ma'am. All 50
One at
states,
a time.
all 50 states are the same, ma'am. All 50 states are the same. When it comes, ma'am, when it comes to a contract, I'm not talking about when you get married through the state. I'm talking about when you make a legal contract with a lawyer, you get all the benefits of marriage. The thing is that when you get married by the state, the only person that's held accountable and has consequences, freedom, money, they can actually go to jail if they don't do their marital duties. There is no such consequence for a woman. A woman could just wake up one day and say, I don't want to be married anymore, and there's zero consequences. Men cannot do that. This is the problem. This is why I tell men, don't get married through the state. Go to a lawyer. It's not a prenup, because a prenup, you're still going to get married through the state. You don't get married through the state. You go to a lawyer and you get a contract, an agreement between two people. And that agreement is binded by the state and gives you all the, as long as it's in the contract, it gives you all the benefits that the state would give you, but without the repercussions that the men only get if they violate the state's contract. And ending right here, the thing is that men are the only one held accountable when it comes to the state marriage. Women have no accountability. They get nothing can happen to a woman. A man could be put in jail. A man could lose his house. A man could lose access to his children. Women do not have those consequences. And this is what a lot of women do not know. And if you do not believe me, you can Google it right now as we
No, they
speak.
do know. They don't care.
They don't care, and that's the problem. The men are the only one. Men, if a man marries you through the state, you have to understand this man loves you so much because he has zero benefit to do so, because the only person that can go to jail if he doesn't do his duty is the man, not the woman. And
Can we
young
look at
lady,
the historical context of marriage while we're stating this? Because historically, women were technically property, right? And that's why we have these marriage license.
yeah, but that was
Why the
back in the
woman
day. We're talking about modern
Right. So
now.
who made those
Traditionalism
laws?
doesn't
No,
fit in
no,
a
no.
non-traditional time.
You guys
I
getting
don't
off
like
the
when they
topic, man.
get the dude.
You guys getting off the topic. You're getting off the topic, guys.
No, I was on the topic.
I'm only giving context to what you're saying as far as men
And another thing,
having full responsibility, because that is the reason. Because a woman will take this man's last name because she becomes owned by him, right? So yes, I agree. Maybe some things needs to change around.
That's the white man's laws.
my question is
They're
this.
not our laws.
My
So
question
why
is
can't
this.
you just make your own contract where both of you can
Right.
be in agreement
What
of
the
what the real specific and stipulations are? You can both sit down as a couple and say, hey, this is what I want as a marriage. This is what, if God forbid we do end up not wanting to be together, we don't need the state. We don't need to go to divorce court. We don't need to do that. We have our contract that we both agreed, we both signed, and we both aware of what the consequences is. My point that I'm trying to say, and I'm sorry for being redundant, is that when a man and a woman goes to the courthouse to get married, only the man in all 50 states, his role is the only thing enforceable by law, and he is the only one that can go to jail if he doesn't do his duties. A man has to do this, has to do that. A woman is not forced to do anything in a marriage. And she, at any moment, she can leave and take all his money and stop him from
She ain't
watching the
lifted a
kids.
finger.
And she ain't lifted a finger. So
But the
this is why
question
I
is-
advise all men to get a good
The
lawyer.
question is this. The question is this. Who's making those laws?
The state is making those
No,
laws.
who's making those laws behind? Don't say the state. Who's the faces making those laws?
Oh yeah, white people are making those laws.
Men, right?
White men,
Bro,
yes.
stop grouping us into men, nigga.
Stop.
Like that's
Listen.
not black people making those laws.
Yeah, it's
That's not-
white men.
These are white men making those laws. We
Listen.
don't like
Listen.
when women get on here talking about, oh, we didn't have a bank account. We didn't have a bank account at one point in time too.
Yes.
The white men, the reason why y'all didn't have a bank account. Black
Exactly.
men wasn't like, oh yeah, we're just gonna come together and we don't want our women to have bank accounts. Like
Yeah.
what do y'all be talking about? Stop grouping
Listen,
us
listen, can I
into
say- can I
stop
interject?
grouping us
Can I
into the
interject
system.
with
I
your
think that's
boss?
very
Excuse me, can I
that's weird to
interject?
me.
It's disingenuous is what it is.
Can
You
I
trying to make a
interject?
weird ass
Can
point.
I
Like,
say
nigga,
something?
the people
Can I
that's
say
in power
something,
don't look
boss?
like you. So how are you making that point?
Yeah. That's why you need to make your own contract
Come
with
on,
the
that's
woman.
clown shit, bro.
You need to make the contract with the woman. And a lot of people don't understand. I'm sorry again. A lot of people don't understand. When you make a contract, it's legally binding in your state. You have all the benefits of a married couple, the same exact benefit. You do not need to go to the courthouse and get married through the state. You can go to a lawyer and get a contract just like any other contract, and it's legally binding. It's legally binding. You get every single recourse that you would get as opposed to if you go to the city or the state to get married, you can do that on your own. So I advise every man, get married, yes, but do not get married through the state, because the only one that gets the short end of the stick, unfortunately, is the man. The woman is not obligated to do nothing
Then
in the
on top
marriage.
of that, like if for the women that are making demands like, oh, you have to marry me in 2 years and stuff like that, why when men get to asking y'all questions like, what's your body count, things like that,
Exactly.
like why do y'all get mad then?
Because
Like
they know it's
you're
high and they don't
demanding
want
me to
to.
marry you in 2 years. I don't know you, but when I'm asking you, I'm trying to get to know you. I want to know if you
You
slept
know
with
why,
50
my
men.
brother? You know why? Because if
You
they
slept
told you
with
the
50
truth, you
men. I'm
wouldn't marry
leaving a
them.
date. What the fuck is we talking
You
about?
know
Like
why, my brother? Because if you told them the
this is
truth, they wouldn't marry you. You
that's
wouldn't
what
Hey,
I'm
yo,
marry them.
saying. Like
hold on, yo. Everybody stop. Everybody stop right now. Mr. Yard Chat is my co-host. Okay, so he's been trying to interject. Mr. Yard Chat, I do have to step away from the phone. When you're done talking, can you let in Braveheart? I mean, she's on the panel, but can you introduce her to the conversation right after you're done?
Yeah, possible. I just wanted to say something as well when I get a chance.
Yard Chat, are you there? Yard Chat, going once. All right, Braveheart, welcome to the panel. Please answer the prompt. Are men taking too long to get engaged?
Hello, blessings to all of you. Thank you for having me here. It's an honor. Are men taking too long to propose? I don't think men are taking too long to propose. I think things are just out of order. Men are supposed to lead, but women need to think about who they're truly wanting to lead them. So when you get in front of some kingdom marriages and you get them around you, you see where your standards are lacking. Marriage is nothing but a mirror, and we attract who we are. So we need to stand on self-awareness and accountability, because Proverbs 18:22 says, he who finds a wife finds favor with the Lord. I know not everybody is a believer in here, but that's the issue. But notice it doesn't say she who finds a husband. So women, we got to stay out of these men's inboxes. Okay? Stay hidden and work on yourself. Men, if you aren't finding favor with the Lord or a good woman, it is because your face is turned from the Lord. So you must be refined by him. Your character should reflect sacrificial love, because when you submit to the Lord, you can submit to your wife, and your wife will submit to you. So you need to have understanding, honor. You have to nourish a woman, cherish a woman. These things in marriage, and why it's taking so long to propose or not to propose, is because people are looking for the title. Looking for the title. They're not looking for love. They're looking at, what can you give me? Not how can I serve you?
So well said. So well said.
I mean,
So
yeah, but like
If I may,
leading doesn't
Hey,
mean that the
can
man
y'all
pays
not
every
cut each
single
other
bill
off?
in the house.
Can I say something now?
Yeah, go
I
ahead,
won't,
y'all.
but okay.
I'm trying to say something for the longest. And she just made a point, titles. I deliberately told Mr. Fifth I do not want to be a host, just to be on the panel. The respect, people don't respect no one no more. The love, there is no love. It's all selfishness, what I can get. That's why I told Mr. Fifth, everyone on this platform that come on TikTok, they're not real. They're hypocrites. If it don't apply, let it fly. You're hypocrites.
may I add something?
And can I land? Can I land? And thank God for Braveheart to bring it back to base. It's a reflecting of accountability. The vibes you give out, the person you attract, that's who you attract. That's the vibe you're giving out. And the thing is, people forgetting their hearts.
Absolutely,
It's
brother.
what you build in your heart. That vibes come out and you attract it. And your mouth is saying something different. You're a hypocrite. If people look in the mirror and see who they are, they will get who the person that they want. But no, they put on masks. They come on platforms. They tell you all they curse. They show you their character. When they come on this platform, they get triggered. They don't know how to handle it. They make all excuses out except taking accountability. Do you know what yard chat stand for, people? You know what yard stand for? You are responsible daily. Challenge at time. Deal with it.
Well said, brother.
May I add something?
That's what I gotta say. I learned. So you don't have to be on a host to get respect. You respect every person.
Absolutely.
And I've been coming and I've been saying, can I speak? Because I'm not have the title as a host, people overlook that. You never know when you are being tested to see what your heart is like. You never know.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%, my brother.
May I add something real quick?
Go ahead, sir.
I try to avoid it from a religious standpoint because people who base it on religious values usually are, like I said before, when you have individuals who enforce traditionalism in an untraditional time. First of all, in the Bible, there was no contract put through by the state.
There was no contract.
There was no contract put through by the state. It went through a religious figure. It went through a religious figure. You stand in the eyes of God, and that was it. There was no penalty other than what God can do.
Second, is higher than contract. And when you
but who is making the punishments on earth?
And women was getting abused. What do you mean?
No. He's making a point.
Abused, but
they not trying to listen. They just blabbering, bro. Just let him finish.
Exactly. And here's the hypocrisy about that women are getting abused crap. Here's the thing: 70% of non-reciprocal. That means one person doing the abusing in non-reciprocal relationships. Women were the aggressors 70% of the time. It is a fact. You can Google it.
Are you referring to when there were no contracts by the state, or you're talking
about in today's times?
Right. I was referring to what you were referring to initially when I said women were getting abused, and you said there was no consequences.
Yeah, but there's no consequences. Okay, when you say women are being abused in the Bible, right? There is there's a line that you can cross when it comes to that, because women, one thing I will agree with, women really did not have the right to choose their suitor a lot of times in biblical times. It was brought forth through the parents. The parents approved it. That woman had to marry this man whether they liked it or not. I get that part. They didn't have a level of control they have today. I get that part. But it's disingenuous for women who go to church every day and leave church with the mentality of, I don't need a man.
Very. And it's funny because they will love to reference the Bible when it comes to this stuff, implying old instructions to new times. So tell me this, because by the Bible, hold on. From my understanding, that from the Bible, that you're not supposed to divorce your husband unless he passes away. It didn't say nothing about AB. It didn't say nothing about infidelity. It said until he passes away. So it's
y'all
like,
want to abuse and cheat on y'all women and let them still stay with y'all. That's what
that was the Bible.
Women are doing the beating. What are you talking about? I just told you a statistic. Women are doing the abusing.
Kevin referred to the Bible. I didn't.
Can he finish
one at a time, guys? One at a time, please.
Thank you. So what I was saying is, if you look at the Bible, you look deep into it. It said the only reason a woman could divorce her husband is when the husband passed away. People want to say, oh, it's abuse or cheating or infidelity. So if you're going to stick by the Bible all the way, then stand on it. But the problem is they want to pick and choose. They want to pick and choose modern conventions, but today's rules. It don't work like that. And that's why men have a problem with this thing nowadays, because y'all want the same authority, but without the accountability. If you're going to stand on the Bible and be with him until death do you apart, not until abuse, not until infidelity. It says until death, but y'all want to quit out
on that death pact that you made with God. So my whole thing, and I'm gonna land with this. If I'm God and you tell me, sir, I'm gonna be with this man until I die, but you renege on that, you deserve no blessings. You lied. You didn't stand on that. So stand on it.
Well,
And
yeah, women is not gonna stay with y'all doing acting up like that. But I wanted to ask to be progressive, right? Because y'all keep saying we going backwards, but let's progress. So if men, because I heard someone on the panel say men in their 20s shouldn't marry, right? So if men are choosing 30 and beyond to get married, and then y'all say that women at a certain age they have a biological clock. So does that mean that women should intentionally date men that are older than them? Like as a woman in her 20s, should she be dating a man that's much older than her?
they've been
Helena,
doing
that's a
it.
great question. That's a great question, and I'm gonna answer it this
I
way.
mean, I feel
I think
like,
we can all
yeah, but
agree.
by a
Hold
few
on.
years.
Listen, Pleasure was answering, man.
I think we can all agree that the most important thing to a woman in a relationship is security. It might be emotional, it might be financial, it might be spiritual, it might be sexual, it might even be mental. But a woman values security, and she'll always choose the man that can provide it. On the man's side, it takes time to be able to create that infrastructure required to provide that woman with that level of security. It takes time to make money. It takes time to go to the gym. It takes time to go to therapy. It takes time to be that man that can provide you with that stability. Now, when that man gets to that age, he takes a look at the choices around him. He can either choose a woman who is divorced, a woman who's a single mom, a woman who has trauma, a woman who has baggage, or he can provide that security with a woman who's younger than him, who doesn't have the kids, doesn't have the failed relationships, doesn't have the trauma, doesn't have the baggage, and she will provide him with the thing that's the most important to men, which is respect. So if it's not necessarily a matter of whether or not women should marry older men, it's whether or not you can find somebody who can provide you with the security that you want and offer the respect that they need.
Lovely, you be next.
That was a good
You be
answer.
next, Lovely, all right?
Okay.
Go ahead, Lovely.
As far as I was on a panel with Yard and Fifth the other day, and I said some things. They got some things rattled, and y'all was speaking of cheating, and to that reference, I would say women cheat 10 to 15 times way more than men do, and
I'm out of
men,
here.
except no, it's not a lie.
I'm out
Men
of here.
still
I'm not in that group.
okay. So
let
Listen,
it fly.
you see how
Defending
many she
women
dropped off this
behavior.
panel? You see
Yeah,
that?
see, if the
Okay.
shoe don't fit, don't wear it. So people like to put
So,
on shoes
and
when
I'm
they fit.
saying this not because it's a panel full of men or a room full of men and women. I'm saying it because I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, and it's
So
real.
for a man to want to sit here and take a week to marry somebody, I would say that's not enough time. Get to know the person that you're trying to marry. Take as long as you need. Because at the end of the day, whether you get married to this woman or not, she's going to end up cheating on you. And you're going to take her back and give her another chance. And then she's going to do it again. And when you finally get the time to walk away because you're ready to walk away, that's when she want to cry, beg, and plead. And that's not okay.
And sister, as a former bar manager, I am here to say you are 100% accurate. Women do cheat way more than men.
Braveheart, you be next, okay? I know she been waiting.
Can I speak on what they were just talking about?
Yeah, all right. You could go, then Braveheart could go. Go, Diamond.
Okay, so I agree with you, Lovely, to a certain extent. It's not that women cheat more than men. I think we cheat better than men. So I'm gonna
Still
say
don't
it
make
like
it right.
that. I didn't say it was right. I just think that
Y'all don't cheat better. We just
better.
don't hide it.
In other words, men don't think when they cheat. They just move. They do things. They don't think. And women, they overthink things. They do things. So that's why I said it like
That's
that.
because
take the
you able to
hypocrisy.
do that though, because the man out at home busting his ass while you just at home sitting on the damn couch. So now you got time to be texting motherfuckers. You got time to tell Brody to slide through because your husband gone for 12 hours.
I just don't get the hypocrisy.
All right,
behind all
hold on.
this.
Yo, hold on.
You
Okay,
see, I don't
this is
understand.
why. This is why. Okay, All right. Terion cursed way too much. I gave him way too many chances. I had to step away, but I got to run back to restore order. Okay. Mr. Charles.
Well, it's only 18 bars.
You
Mr.
see,
Charles, are you ready?
I thought it was one big long thing.
1 second, Mr. Charles. 1 second, Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles, give me 1 second before you say something. 1 second, Mr. Charles. You
Men
see,
and women cheat for the same reasons.
Talking to somebody else. Can y'all mute his mic?
listen. You see, when I do, that's why I don't do live on my platform. Because that's why I sit back in the live and I watch. You might say, oh, y'all chat don't speak. I observe a lot. And I let people put their foot in their mouth. Because at the end of the day, the topic is everybody have excuse and not looking at themselves. This man cursed, his mouth is foul. So imagine when he's around other people. Imagine how foul his mouth could be. And these are our husbands, right? You see, this. Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. I don't say much, but when I speak, people don't listen because you're talking and you. This is the people that reflected our black culture on this platform. Who curse too much? That's not a husband. You see what I'm saying? The morals. Where is our morals? Just like our Braveheart said, you have to carry yourself like a husband. You got to carry yourself like a wife. Yeah, I'm older. Yeah, I'm corny. I'm old school. Yeah, but I'm not old school. I'm still in touch with present time. And he's not getting it. It went overhead. It went overhead. That's why I didn't speak no more to him. It went over his head. Go ahead. Who's next to speak? I'm done, man. I'm done.
In reference
It was on
to what
Braveheart.
In reference to what Black Diamond said real quick, we said women cheat better. I agree, but the main reason why though is because men know how to play their roles. So for example, if you're a man and the girl say, hey, only call me Mondays and Tuesdays, that's the only time I could lay with you. As a man, you're not going to find a way to mess that up. You're gonna go ahead and call her Mondays and Tuesdays because that's the setup. However, on the other side, if you're a woman and you want more from the man that you're cheating with, and they're more likely to go ahead and mess up that arrangement because of their emotions and feelings. Dudes are not gonna mess up the free session. You telling me I got little to invest and all I gotta do is abide by the times that you want to meet up. Most dudes ain't gonna mess that up. That's why side dudes be like, hey, I'm on the side and it is what it is. But more side chicks are willing to mess that up because they be investing, they get involved emotionally, and they really mess up their arrangement. So I mean, I'm not saying it's good. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just, addressing the topic. Well, at least, the conversation. But I don't think they cheat better. I think there's men know how to play their role better.
And I could piggyback something. At the bottom line of it is, I'm tired of hearing anything that seems like it is beneficial or is a poor positive on the other side that a certain gender cheats. Men and women cheat for the same reasons. We're all human. There are certain things that we want, certain behaviors that we possess, and there is no women do things one better than men do. It's just if you're foul, you're foul. If you're a 304, you're a 304. If you are a gigolo or a man, you know what? Yeah, that's it. But to excuse why men take that step is just as bad as excusing why women take that step. We don't look inward too much, and if you're approving or defending certain behaviors by sitting back and saying that certain gender does something better, it's like the woman said, like, oh, women cheat better, and the other guy's like, well, side dudes are better at being side dudes than side chicks are. Nobody sees the disconnect and the negativity behind that. And that's scary.
And I agree with you on that. I'm not agreeing saying that I cheat because that's not me personally. I just hear women speaking, thinking that as far as, oh, we think better as far as cheating because we overthink things. But, that was just something I threw out there because I'm not a cheater. I'm loyal to whom I'm with regardless. That's just me. Because I
Yeah,
believe
I
in.
just don't like. I don't like the supporting it. I don't like defend. I don't like hearing when women defend negative behavior of other women, because at the end of the day, these negative women out here, they want the support because they don't have to work as hard to find a good man. They don't have to change anything when it comes to finding a good man, because we have the virtuous women out here defending what these girls are doing. And it's like, and you want a man to find a virtuous woman among this bunch, when basically it's like you got one side that's terrible and you got the other side that's wearing a mask because they are defending it.
And that goes both ways, though. That go for the man and the woman.
Men hold men accountable. We do not hang out with the bum. We do not hang out with the gigolo unless we are. We don't hang out with the people the men that's doing negative stuff unless we doing it. But men out here, good men out here, don't play that game. We don't sit back and defend negative behavior because they're men. We want to set each other apart. That's the difference.
Go ahead.
We want to set each other apart. I don't understand the women say, "Oh, men do it too." No, we don't. We don't have that mentality because we don't want to have a bum compete with us. We don't want to have a dude that's out here being a player. We don't want them competing with us. There is no competition. Well, I'm a good man. I don't want to be labeled next to some dude like that. And that's what it is when women out here defending 304 behavior. Feminism has really killed a lot when it comes to American dating. And then a lot of women don't understand that. And the sad part about it is women, like black women in particular, wasn't even welcome in the feminist movement. It took like decades ago.
Okay. Hold on, Kevin. So, do anybody have anything they want to say with what he said before? Because a lot of y'all is getting real long-winded, and everybody gonna get sidetracked, and it's gonna go to a whole different conversation real fast.
I will add that it is a little bit difficult to discern certain women from others when we talking about face value. He did make a good point about how, in general, a lot of women kind of dress the same. And then, there's a lot of controversy on, for example, the weaves, wigs, and extensions and all that. Where women say, hey, we could wear what we want, but then there are men that saying, hey, we like your natural hair. And it goes back and forth. And I'm not trying to change the subject, but when you have, let's say, a group of women all kind of wearing the same, tight outfit, cleavage out, weave, nails, lashes, and let's say they are legitimately good women, it's hard to distinguish that because it's like y'all, a lot of y'all kind of talk and dress the same. And so when we come off judgmental, we have to, because that's human nature. And I'm tired of this virtue signaling attitudes that we all have where we shouldn't judge or whatnot. No, that's a human nature. That's what we do naturally every day, because that's a survival mechanism. So I think they should just try to go ahead and tone that up a bit, and it'll help find better partners. That's all I got.
Yeah, and when it's like when virtual women are speaking out against what terrible women are doing, what do you hear most? Pick me. She's a pick me. I mean, the word pick me was invented by women that aren't good, who want to compete with virtuous women. And the fact that that women are falling for that and putting themselves on the same level, it's sad. It really is sad.
Braveheart, do you have anything you want to say?
Braveheart, you have anything to say?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I've been listening, and my heart really goes out to both sides. But when we reduce ourselves to arguing over who's a better cheater or who does the other person dirty better than the other, this is rebellion.
Truthfully.
The thing is that as I was talking, I was speaking about the qualities of what a male should have. And if you don't have those qualities, then that's something that you really need to start working on. But the qualities of a godly woman, which I'm telling you, the things that I'm going to speak on, people are not going to like it because it requires order where there is no order right now. Okay? And the Lord's heart goes out to everyone who is unhealed in these spaces. But the qualities of a godly woman is respectful submission to a godly man, loving support, constructive communication. You have to value his role and his work, meaning you got to get some business of your own. You got to become a mass producer. You got to be doing something other than just sitting around, because as I know, men do not want a woman who just sits around and does nothing. Okay? We have to have a heart that has a winning through conduct. You know, we can be nice, we can be kind to our man when he is kind to us, but how do you react when your man is not having a good day, when he's not responding to you the way that you want him to respond to you? Are you just lashing your tongue at him? Are you beating him down even more after he comes from the world and is trying to support his family? You know, which means you must be refined and healed before marriage. So while we are single, ladies, the Lord is our covering. Until the man becomes our husband, then the man becomes our covering. If we buck against our covering, we are out of order and under rebellion, which translates to witchcraft. And what is witchcraft? Witchcraft is evil. And that is why you see all the cheating, all the heartbreak, all the backlash, all the division. All of this is a distraction. We're a team. We are to come together. And if we can't figure these things out before we unite with somebody, and this is not even just for personal relationships, man and woman, this is for friendships, this is for family. You know what I mean? Like, we are to honor one another. Everybody deserves respect. And I love you all, but my conclusion is don't rush. Become the wife or the husband before marriage. Before marriage, please, because this heartbreak is no good for nobody. Nobody's going to come together. Everybody's going to be running in fear. And that's what it is. And the fear turns to pain, and the pain turns to anger. The anger turns to bitterness. And this is not the way that it's supposed to be. So please, please, just look at yourself. Okay, take a look at yourself, because your partner is going to reflect who you are. So if you don't like him and he's got a bad attitude and he's not healed, well, maybe you should really look at the fact that, well, who did you pick to lead you? Who did you pick to lead you? And what season were you in that you were not fully healed before you set that person in your life?
And you know, Braveheart, I agree with you, Braveheart. And I just want to say this real quick, and you know, I'm gonna drop off the panel. Is you do speak very well as far as what should be done, and a lot of people talk about a lot of shoulds, and I'm with you on what should be done. But what happened is, what my biggest thing, what is happening now, what is going on currently, and right now, and it's circling to the prompt when we're asking why are men taking too long to propose or not, is that what men are seeing versus what should be happening is two completely different things. And so when we have these discussions in a panel and men are saying, hey, we think women are too masculine emulating, it's always some pushback. Hey, women, you should wear your hair natural, is always pushback. Hey, women should be submissive, and I'm with you. Is I'm not gonna yield to no man what he bringing to the table. And so that's what I think the biggest issue happening right now is that I think we did identify the issues. And I think we all, the average person, I believe, wants kindness and relationships to happen. But currently in this day and age, no one's actually implementing not no one, but most people aren't actually implementing implementations and actions to actually change the behavior. What should be done and what is going on, that's, I think, where we have a big issue. Thank you for having me, panel.
Because I believe people have the agenda these days why they're doing something for you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They're looking for something in return. They're not doing it genuine from their heart no more. It's what it is. People don't want to take accountability. Even if women say, "Oh, I picked this. My husband was bad," but you chose him. You picked him. I mean, so both like Braveheart said, people have to take accountability and know what they're doing. It's okay. Let me try and resolve that issue before we get out of hand. But people do. They put off things and they wear masks. And they go in every relationship with a mask. And they bring all their baggage with them. And they don't know. And you know what it is when you cut it down? When you put it down all together, you know what it is? People are not responsible to take care of themselves no more. Because if you're responsible, that means you have to be accountable for what you did. They don't want to be. If you don't want to be responsible, that means you can't get no accountability. Because you say, I'm not responsible for that. So they keep shoving off the problem and put it on other people, and think other people are going to take care of the problem. And how ironic this is. The doctor that came up, she said she's 50 years old, right? And to come to a conclusion with her issue, she was the problem. And look, she by herself now. All them years, she probably blamed the man for all of them things. I'm just saying, what if she blamed the man for all of that? But at the end of the conclusion, she said it was her was the problem.
Yeah.
Until she take accountability, she said, and until I face that, I'm not going to deal with nobody because I'm not a good person.
It's also, who are you following? Who are your examples? Where's your covering? If you have the wrong covering, you're going to follow what you're being taught. A lot of us grow up in dysfunction in our families, and we can only love people at the knowledge of which we know how, right? So who's your covering? Who are you following? I'm going to give you something, and if you don't hear me on anything, please take this. Your life will go in the direction of your most dominant thought. And that's a spiritual principle, and nobody can bypass it. So a man thinketh, so he is. That's it.
I think, well, hey, everybody. Anyway, what I want to say is, as what your chat was saying, everyone's looking outside of themselves. And you continue to look outside of yourself, you're going to always choose wrong. You're never going to listen to that voice, you know, when you want to call it God, whatever. You're never going to listen to that voice. You're always going to want something that you know that you shouldn't have or partake in because you know what I'm saying? You still want to be in the world. You still want to be in the world. And so as long as you want to be in the world's going to keep showing up. And that's what everybody is talking about. You can say, oh, the men this, the women that, blah, blah, blah. None of it matters. The fact is, we're the problem. People, individuals are the problem, and no one wants to address it. Everybody want to say, oh, this person cheat, or this person did this, we all ignore the red flags that's on the wall. We ignore it for our own selfish desires. And that's just what it is.
And I believe, and I also believe, people are aware of the situation, but they are so naive. Because they make up this delusional, deceptional thing in their mind. Oh, this is it. And not looking at reality. You know, none of us are ostriches. We don't put our head in the ground. We know what's going on. We know what we do. We know what's in our heart. We know. So we come on all these platforms and share all of these blah, 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 blah. And you have some people just, you know, they come on here. Some people are very good people. People that we're meeting now, they're very good people. You have some people here, they are demons. Don't take their counseling. Don't take nothing from the. At the end of it, it's all about self glorification. They want to get. Oh yeah, I did that. They want something. You gotta know the people you hang around with. I don't have a lot of friends, and I don't have a lot of associates. I keep it very, very a small circle.
Yeah, Thriving at Last just came up, Yard. You want to introduce her to the panel?
Who just came up?
Thriving at Last.
Oh, Thriving, how you doing? Welcome. I think she came here before, but you know the rules, right? Please, no cursing. Respect, you know, everyone on the paddle. You know what I mean? Respect everyone on the paddle. You know what I mean? And before you you have to answer the prompt, or men are taking too long to propose. You know what I mean? How you feel about that? And the floor is yours.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Very good conversation. I came in because Pleasure is here. He's a friend of mine. I'm new here, so if I break a rule, please let me know and give me some grace. So the topic, are men taking too long to propose? I think so. In my opinion, I think there's many reasons this is happening. One, you heard that saying, why buy a cow when you can get the milk for free? I heard the saying, but it's got some truth to it. If you have access to everything a woman provides, including her body, to you, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, 5, 6, and so on, what's the incentive to now put yourself in a place where you're going to have to take more responsibility for her and the children and be held accountable by the states you live in, right? So that's reason number one. Reason number two, I honestly do believe as much as women are also affected, like the lady Braveheart was saying, by maybe not having the right role models, men are also affected, right? So if we look at a household where there's a single parent, she's never been married, she's never been coached to be a wife or raised to be a wife, right? She's going to raise the daughters in the ways in which she knows. And that son she has is also lacking that role model of a father who can teach him how to be a husband and be successful at it. So we can't sit here and assume that only women are being affected in a negative way. Men are too, unfortunately. What I would like to add from what I've heard so far is, I feel like as a people, we have to step back and have some realistic expectations. If you look at any other animal kingdom, right? Any other, whether it be elephant, a cow, a horse that's being born, within minutes, they know what to do. They can walk, they can communicate with their parent, they can nurse. Humans were the only ones who learn progressively. It takes us about 9 months to be able to walk. You know what I'm saying? It takes us some time to figure out how to nurse. So we are meant to actually learn progressively. And part of this is to make mistakes. If you've been through a relationship and failed, that was a lesson. Take it as a lesson. Don't repeat the lesson and do better. If you got married and got divorced, that was a lesson. It's a painful lesson, but do better. So we have to pull back, not have these unrealistic expectations, because we're just humans, y'all. And stop, shaming people on the internet. Stop shaming women. Stop shaming men. We're just learning. And I land.
Anyone else have anything to add on to that?
Well, I want to say it's because we're bred to be selfish. Literally bred to be selfish in the society that we all live in. But it doesn't make it right, because we all have to learn to break out of that. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's where the problem is. That we're literally bred to be selfish in the world that we partake in today.
Wow.
Can I say something, your chat?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Listen, I am being brought up as a watchman in the kingdom of Christ. And I'm going to tell you that a lot of these traumas, I don't know how many of you know this, but a lot of these traumas, and the reason why we can't get past them is because we need deliverance. I cast out demons daily, and I see demons of rejection, demons of abandonment, orphan spirits, from broken homes, from Jezebel, from Ahab's, from all sorts of things from the dark kingdom. There's only two races. There's the kingdom of darkness, and then there's the kingdom of light. And we make the choice every day whom we're going to serve. So by our mouth, by our actions, whatever you do, that is who you serve. So you either serve the father of lies by continuing in the strongholds that you have in your mind that have built up from the trauma that you have incurred, or you follow the kingdom of light and you allow the Lord to heal you and take you through. Because if you go through the healing by yourself, it's dangerous. I'm telling you.
I mean, it's a lot, on both sides, woman, man, I mean, I mean, I wouldn't say, are men taking too long to propose. It's like, and I'm going to say another point of view too, take it from this perspective, because men don't know how to be a husband. You know what I mean? Both parties are afraid because they don't know what to do, because they both operate on a level of self. It's me. So when you come together to join another person, you don't know how to act. You don't want to accept that. But, we need each other to live in this world. And that's one of the biggest lie that was told. I don't need a man. I don't need a woman. We need each other. That's the biggest lie that was told. Because they separate us. And when you separate, you're weak. So, over the years, women went, nothing wrong, but we have to come to a point something is wrong. And even though this topic, is supposed to be, to me, if people don't reflect on that topic and like, oh man, let me do a self-checkup. For this topic, you're supposed to do a self-checkup. Just so, oh yeah, it's a debate. I'm going to go there, talk out all this. I know that I have knowledge about this, that. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. But are we doing something about it? Are we going to change our life, do something different? I mean, and the thing is that we get me with this marriage and proposal and overall, everyone's looking for the big thing and don't realize it's the little thing that hold up the building. But everybody noticed the big design, but the little thing that's get unnoticed, nobody pay no attention to it, support the whole building. See, everybody want the big thing in life, the big house, the bag, the beautiful wife, the kids, the beautiful. Everybody want that, but they don't want to work for it. And people are not taking nothing seriously. Nothing. Marriage is for the. Listen, I tell people like this. I would never tell people married or not. That's your decision. How long it takes, that's up to you. Who you want to marry to, that's up to you. What you marry, that's up to you. It's up to you. That's a very powerful move you make in your life, to be yoked with someone. So why should I tell you who to be yoked with? That's your decision. And you can never come back and look, oh yeah, you told me this. Yeah, now look, no. Nobody want to take no good counsel from no one. Everybody think they got it. They got it. They got it. We got it. Alan.
We don't got it. Clearly we don't got it. But we can't continue to lie to ourselves that we got it. We don't. Somebody asked in the chat, how do we fix this? The first thing honestly is repentance. And when we say repentance, people automatically jump to religion. And I know most of you don't belong to a religion, or some of you at least don't belong to religion. Repentance simply means change direction. So if you are going in a path that is hurting you and the people you love, right? It's toxic. You are getting the same horrible results every time. Just turn around, switch direction. Stop doing that, right? By just doing that, you're going to start teaching your nervous system. I know for non-religious people, this can be talked about scientifically. Your nervous system needs to learn new pathways, okay? So when you have been in a toxic situation, it's going to take time. You have to remove yourself from those toxic behaviors, situation, people. It feels like a withdrawal. It feels like you are walking away from an addiction, really, because your nervous system is used. Your brain is a computer. It watches for patterns. It takes in, for example, if you think about, okay, let me go buy a new car. I really like this Maserati, whatever car you like. Or this Nissan or this Honda, to talk to the normal folk like you and me. All of a sudden you start seeing that car everywhere you go. It's because now your brain is saying, hey, we're looking for this car. And now you're going to start noticing it. Your brain is just a computer. Just like we use the cell phones, we can program an app. It's the same thing. You have to train it to change, and that takes time. If you're constantly sleeping around your community D or 3 or 4, and this is bringing distraction onto you, you're bringing children into the world that now have to suffer because of your actions, you can stop today. You don't have to keep doing it. It's never too late. As long as you have breath in your lungs, you can stop and then go through the withdrawals. It's going to be painful. This is where maybe consistency in terms of having a good group of people you trust to talk to, praying, meditating. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be hard, but you have to change direction. That's what it is. That's what repentance is. It will hurt, but it's good for you. It's a good hurt. And I'll end.
All right, so I'm gonna say this and then go do something that I should have been doing hours ago. Like I said before, however long it takes for you to make the most positive decision when it comes to spending the rest of your life with another human being is how long it takes. There really isn't a time frame. I will say, however, if you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, but you're willing to walk away from them because they haven't proposed in a specific time frame, it's hard for me to believe that you actually want to spend your life with that person. Because ultimately, let's be honest, marriage isn't the goal. The goal is for us to be 80 years old, sitting together on a bench, looking at our kids, our grandkids, and our great-grandkids, and knowing that our lives are filled with love and happiness. Some people feel like they can never get to that point without marriage, and some people have proven that they can absolutely get to that point without marriage. It's just a matter of your personal standards and preferences. But if you're rushing to the altar, and most marriages end at 7 years, you cannot be upset that you made it to a statistic because you didn't take the time to make a good decision when it came to who you're going to spend the rest of your life with. You put the what in front of the who. So and if it's that important to you, with all respect, and I understand a lot of people have very strong opinions about this, but ladies, if getting married is that important to you, but you're not willing to propose to the man that you want to spend the rest of your life with, you have to ask yourself what's really important. Is it more important that you spend the rest of your life with this man, or is it more important that he fulfill this fantastic delusional fairy tale that you have for yourself? And you're valid either way. It is what it is. But if marriage is important to you and you don't want to propose and you're willing to leave him because he hasn't proposed, you don't want him. You just want him to do something for you. Y'all be blessed. Have an amazing Valentine's Day and a great weekend. Peace be upon you.
Blessings to you, pleasure. I would just say, and I have to get going. I'm not going to stay too long. And thank you for having me.
No problem.
It would be best to just stay single if you know you're going to make a covenant, a vow. A covenant is a very serious thing. You're standing in front of what you call God, in front of family and friends, witnesses, right? And you're sealing this in a vow, in a covenant. If you know you're not going to be able to keep it, if you know your intentions are not pure, if you're not committed till the end, you are putting literally judgment on yourself. And again, people will think this is religious talk. We still have natural laws. There's cause and effect. Okay?
Exactly.
What you do has consequences. It would be best to just stay single. So maybe that's what men are realizing. Maybe they're realizing, hey, I cannot uphold this covenant, this vow, right? I cannot uphold it. So it would be best for me to stay single. What women need to do, stop giving access to men who have not given you commitment. You are defiling your own body. You are out of order, and you're going against nature. Nothing good comes out of that. So, men, if you're not going to propose marriage, if you're not going to do the work necessary to be husbands, then access denied from women. And I'll end.
Yeah. Thank you. Anyone else have anything to share? What time is it? 3:31, right? Okay. Is that the right time? 3:31? Diamond, you have anything to say? Anybody want to share something else?
The only thing I can say, what you said was really real.
Yeah.
She said some real peaceful, serious stuff, and that's just 100. Like, if you don't want it, don't play with it, don't do it, don't vouch for it, don't
Exactly.
go. But I mean, at the end of the day, people take life as a joke,
That's true.
and they take people for granted.
Charles, how you doing, Charles? You have anything to say?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I just been listening to everybody. I think the problem, because divorces are mainly from women.
Yeah, it is.
Men be divorced, but we rarely do it. Not at a high clip as the women, and I think that's because, most time women will date you and then put a deadline, give you a deadline on when she want to be married, or she'll move on to the next guy, or whatever. So I'm thinking that women do that because they just want to be married. They don't particularly like the guy or in love with the guy, just in love with the idea of just being married. So once they get married and they just tired of the guy, whatever shenanigans he's doing or playing, because she's not really a wife anyway, then she just divorce him, find another dude or whatever she's gonna do. And that's the whole thing. Women just want to be married. And don't matter who marries them, just marry me. And that's funny that women will do that, because being married is not a game. It's not a play toy. It's serious business. Either you want to do it or you don't. And that's my take.
Yeah, marriage is a commitment. It's a big step, and if you're not ready for it, I tell people, don't do it. If you're not, it's not. Oh, I changed my mind. No, it don't work like that. But then we could understand why men probably taking a little bit longer time, because see the two things: they're not ready, or they just don't want to get married, or hesitating. That's it.
I think they just don't like, because when I got married, I dated my my woman for 6 months. We got married.
Okay.
It don't take long to know what you want. And we've been married 25 years, So
That's a long time, man.
Yeah, long. And I'm not saying it was a cakewalk, it been days, you know how it go, but you adult, so you work your way through it, talk about it. The thing is, you got to have a conversation about things.
Yeah.
Sit down and you talk, rant and rip, all that type of stuff there. And so when I was dating my wife, I courted her whole family, Okay, her mom and dad was married 40-something years.
Okay.
So this is what you bank off of. Like, most women that I've dated before her were some single parent household, mothers, like that. And I've noticed those women, I'm not saying they're not suitable, this is suitable for me. They're suitable for somebody. Just wasn't me. And those were the most difficult ones I was finding. But
real quick, I got a class in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, but before you come in, you have to answer the prompt. You can't just come in. You have to answer the prompt. A man taking too long to propose. Share your thoughts on that. Then you could get into the conversation. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So to answer the prompt, are men taking too long to propose? Today in 2026, yes. And the reason that is because most men are sharing notes thanks to social media, thanks to YouTube, thanks to content creators, and they're seeing that marriage is not as viable as it was back then. And the women of the old are not today's women. The problem is that you have women who are modern, who accept modernized things in society, but they still want to hold men to what you call a traditional value. That's a problem, because you can't be modern and accept modern behavior patterns, but expect your partner to be traditional. And that's the reason why a lot of men are starting to share notes, and they're starting to see that it's not worth it, especially when marriage always end up in divorce, and 7% of those marriages women initiate or file it. So men are starting to talk and start using TikTok, IG or YouTube, whatever platform they use to share notes and realize marriage is not worth it. That's the reason why. And lastly, so I can go to my class, I'm a coach, and I'm gonna tell you this: I've seen it firsthand that majority of women, whether they're in a relationship, serious relationship, they have a religious background, Muslim, Christian, it doesn't matter, married or not. I've seen the dark side of what they are capable of doing. So when I see there are some good sisters too. There are always going to be anomalies, but that does not speak for the majority of women. So the problem that we see today are not men. They're actually women, because I coach a lot of women and I've seen the dark side with my own two eyes and I've witnessed it. So again, a lot of times sisters coming to the platform, they're not holding other women accountable. They're just saying that it's both parties. But you got to look at the problem, who's causing the most problem, and then address that. So I yield that.
Wow. Listen, he hit that right on the nail, man. Right on the nail. You always have a root of the issues and problems, and that's what we have to address. Remember when we spoke about last week about fear? The fear of marriage and all that? You know what I mean? That's all things that's coming, not to sound like biased, but that's coming from a female point of view. You know, listen, people got to be held accountable for their action and take responsibility for the part they're playing it, and stop throwing their accountability on other people, you know, so we could get healed, man. We need heal. You know, the nation need healing, man. The relationship need healing. Anyone else have anything to share? Mr. Fifth, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Somebody new just jumped on the panel. How do I say your name? Is it
Who's that?
Misbehaving? Is it misbehaving?
Oh yes, this is behaving.
Okay, all right. I like to explain the rules to everybody who's new when they come up here. And that's no cursing, watch your language. Just like I had to get that guy out of here earlier because he just kept cussing. Gave him multiple chances, but and just answer the prompt before you get into the conversation with everybody else, okay? Are men taking too long to propose? Go ahead.
I would say yes, that men aren't taking too long to propose. We've seen so many examples how men talk about like, oh, they know what they want, they go for it, they make that initial initiation. They are the ambitious guy that goes for what they want. They don't care, you know, who they're in competition with. They go for the thing that they want, whether it's a woman, a car, X, Y, and Z. They are driven in that direction. I would say mostly there is a time frame of like trying to get to know someone and you vet that person, and ultimately I do believe it's in the man's position to make that decision whether or not he wants to foresee marriage. Just like women, if they want to be chosen to be married, they make that decision. It's both a choice. However, I do think and I've been listening to this conversation back and forth, you know, we're coming in agreement in certain things that these are behaviors that people do. There are people out there that are X, Y, and Z and these type of people. But then we kind of cycle back, oh, it's the women. It's because women are not traditional and this X, Y, and Z. I was like, well, if we're talking about just women, we got to talk about is people in general. People are not traditional because of like their history, their family, especially if they come from a dysfunctional family. You know, we talk about trauma and all these other things, but when we become an adult and we make that choice, I think it's just on the defensive. Like if a man is wanting to have that leadership role in a sense of saying, hey, I want to marry you in this time frame, it's on the duration of the guy, whether or not, because obviously a woman is waiting to be in the position of that man choosing. But if you're waiting 5 or 6, 7 years to have a engagement, or in like what time frame, I'm curious to know, like, are they engaged? Are they just still, you know, boyfriend and girlfriend? Like, what is prolonging men to make that initial step to propose?
So let me state this because my topics come with research, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it says on average, men are waiting 3 years to propose. Now, for many women, when they polled them, they said that that's too long. So, but everything is a cause and effect. So, one of the top reasons it's almost number one, but it's definitely top three, top two, and that is men are waiting longer due to financial stability. And let's go even more into that. The more the economy goes up, the more the demand goes up. And that's everything. That's the cost of living, that's the bills. But guess what? That's also what women are asking for. So once upon a time, women were requiring a particular salary from a guy that was more close to average. What you're seeing now is that they're showing women, not all, they're showing women that are asking for more money, that they require from a man, to marry them. And so that is in the research. That is not something I'm making up. That's in the research. Okay. And so what happens is you have a lot of men saying, you know what? Okay, well, since that's what it is, then this is what we're going to do. And there are men who are not in relationships at all. And there are men that are in relationships that are taking their time. Now, here's what I want to say. Regardless of that research, men are still proposing and getting married, right? So it's not like there's no proposals, but it's just the opinions of women, according to the research, is that they're saying that 3 years is just too long for them. So that's where that's coming from.
Okay, so I want to go back on when you're saying like financial stability in that aspect, that women are demanding men to make more money than women. Is that what you're saying? Or you're saying that?
No, what I'm saying is it's two parts. And one part, men are waiting on themselves to be comfortable enough for them to be financially stable. That's outside of the woman. Now, on the part on the woman, it's also a response to what the women are demanding in terms of the certain number of the salary that the number of the salary that they're actually requiring. So there's one that has nothing to do with the woman, and then the second one has something to do with the women. Not all, but that's just according to the research. Go ahead.
Do you believe those men should be dating? Because the whole purpose of dating is to find your person to eventually get married. If they are not meeting that criteria for themselves, should they be able to freely date? Or is that just because I see in situations where women will be in a relationship with a guy until they get themselves together, and then once they're at that point, they just dip. It took a woman building a man up to be a better man for another woman, per se. Or is it just like a man should strictly, if he doesn't have his thing going on or whatever, or he feel comfortable to be in a position to date, then he should still be able to, kind of consider still dating. But I feel like it should be respected in a way if like a man in a leadership position or he is in a dating, he should be able to communicate that to a woman. And I think most of men's problem is because of lack of communication. They're leading without providing steps, but they think that a woman should just trust every word that they say, knowing that, and this is for both people, let me just say that, people in general, without that communication component, like, okay, am I just in a position with somebody who is not going to consider marriage because they're not communicating. They saying that they love me and they want me to be in that position with them, but you're not seeing the behaviors or them contributing into that ideal goal. Because again, in a conversation, it's like, why even get in a marriage or get in a relationship or be married if the outcome of marriage is supposed to be lasted for 7 years average? What's the point if women are divorcing men? Men are not pushing, I'm not saying like, I see it's true in that aspect that men are not pushing for divorce. And I see that because I think they are comfortable. They will withstand certain outcomes until the woman, like if she's fed up, you will see like some demeanor of her changes to where you see divorce is about to happen. But I want to go back and circle like what are the expectations of like what is the benefits of being married if we can't consider somebody proposing to us when it's that 3-year mark.
So let me try to walk it through because I think I heard a few questions.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me one question and I'll answer that, and then give me the next one? I just want to make sure I'm not losing you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so my first question was circling back of like proposing, like for instance, like you listed like the 2 outcomes of like why men take too long to propose. I posed the question, do you think that person or that man should be dating if they don't meet that criteria?
They don't meet the criteria of,
The
we talking about
financial.
financially?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are we talking the average salary or above average salary?
It can be either or because again, like both people are in a position of taking care of themselves. So I would think in those situations they should be partners and join together. But again, somebody wants to make more than the other in this dynamic. So what if it's a position where the woman makes more than a man or the man makes more than a woman, but still trying to meet that goal that he thinks is stability?
All right, so let me answer it this way. And Mama, I'm gonna get to you in a second, Mama. Thanks for coming back. So when it comes to average salary, yes, he should date with the purpose of the woman that he's marrying, that she understands that if she was to lose her job, that they live under their means. However, how so? Okay, they live within their means because a lot of people don't live within their means. This is why they're asking for so much. All right. Secondly, if the man makes above average, absolutely, because that means that he has prepared himself in case of something to support such wife and family. You know, some people just get married and don't have kids, right? So they can still get married. Third part, the woman making more money. That's up to the woman. Because if the man proposes, obviously he ain't got a problem with her money. He proposed. He wants her to be his wife, right? And if she's okay with uh, earning more than him, we all know that earnings can shift and shape at any moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since we so focused on the money, so they can shift and shape at any moment, right? And a win for one is a win for all. That should be the mindset. I don't like this mindset that, oh, I got more than him and he need to keep up. Well, the last time I checked, if you're married, a win for you is a win for the both of y'all, and a win for him is a win for the both of y'all, vice versa, right?
Yeah, but we
So I
also see that in men too that will brag about making more money than women.
okay. So what is asked on most of the time is what, that the man makes more money than a woman, right? If we're going to be truthful here, that's what's being asked more, right?
No,
I just want to make sure.
That was back then. Now we all know that 2 household or 2 income family is more beneficial than one.
No, you're right economically, but I'm talking about what's being asked.
Can I chime in real quick?
It's still, yeah. 1 second, Mama.
Okay.
1 second, Mama. I'm gonna let you get the mic. You know how I do with you. I'll let you talk on here, okay?
Okay.
So
I can only stand on my position. I feel like it has to be within each other's means. Like I'm not going out there in a fence of like meeting a professional basketball player. More averagely, I'm looking into somebody who either is in business, who are a college student, that aspect of it. So it's like making more to me generally is almost like average as equal.
okay, so I would say to this, and then I'm gonna let Mama talk. So to you, it sounds like you don't mind, but the statistics are showing that women, by and large, in mass, are hypergamous. They want a man to make more money than them. So whose ego is that on?
I mean, I can see it from that standpoint of looking at stability.
because men are taught to take care of financial construct in that aspect.
Right. And for the men who want to get married, knowing that, because we're talking about men who want to get married. Men who don't want to get married have a different view. But men who want to get married, knowing that, understand that concept. So what I'm saying is, if a woman makes more, and she is willing to marry that man, guess what? We could mark her out the equation because she wants to marry the man. But for the man who proposes to his woman who makes more and she says no, then you could put her in that stat of women who refuse to marry men who don't make more money to them. Does that make sense?
Yes, but that's also her preference.
Oh, okay, that's her preference. So we still got to put her in the category. I understand what you're saying about her preference, which there's nothing wrong with her preference. But guess what? If you're married to your preference, then you have to accept being slotted in that category. It is what it is. It is what it is. Mama, go ahead, Mama. You can answer the prompt. You know the rules. I ain't got to explain it to you.
Oh, I was actually just gonna chip into the conversation.
Yeah, but
If that's
answer the
okay.
prompt first, and then you can get to
Okay.
the conversation. You know how we are.
Okay, so are men taking too long to propose? I say yes and no. I have heard more recently than previously that some women are putting like a specific mark, like, okay, if we've been in a relationship for more than 2 years, more than 3 years, then that is taking a little too long. To a certain extent, I do agree, but I think it more so depends on the age of the people. If you're younger, let's say you met in college, whatever the case is, I can understand needing a bit more time because you do have to get stable, figure your career out, figure yourself out, all that. But I think honestly, if you're above like, let's say 27, 28 to like early 30s, at that point, I think at least hopefully being stable financially should be more so a given. So I don't think you necessarily need to wait as long because at that point, you're just using the dating experience to vet character traits and things like that to make sure that they're actually a decent person. But I don't think you necessarily have to wait as long. I don't think men are necessarily taking a little too long to propose. I do think if he is, it might be an issue as to whether he actually wants to get married or whether he actually wants to get married to that specific person. Because I do think there are some men that would use a woman for a placeholder. And we see it all the time where a man would be with a woman for 6, 7, 8+ years and then gets married to that next woman within a year. So I think as a woman, if that is like a boundary that you have set, then you have to stick to it. Whether it means telling that person and verbalizing like, hey, I have plans and intentions to get married within so and so amount of time. If this is not on your bingo cards, cool, but you actually have to leave when that time stamp expires. Because the problem is when you stay, there's no incentive for him to do it then because you're still there. So I'll stay there.
You can get into the conversation with everyone else. It's cool. Thank you, Mama. You're always welcome up here. You're very respectful. Thank you.
First. And then to what Miss Behave was saying with the last prompt, I do agree with her. I think whenever you get to a certain age and a certain stage, if you don't necessarily have the qualities to actually be a spouse, I think you should kind of see your way out of the dating game if you are dating with the intention to get married. Because I feel like at that point you kind of are wasting people's time. Generally, women typically are hypergamous, but I think it's still a little bit taboo to ask a man, okay, how much are you physically making? Unless, let's say, you're like a couple years into your relationship or maybe even marriage, whatever the case is, and then you're trying to work out finances. But I think most women may more so look at the career, like, okay, did he go to college? Is he stable? Does he have his own place? Is he renting or does he have a house? Is he doing a more, So I don't think that women are necessarily walking up to men or even dating men and saying, hey, how much are you bringing in annually? But they may try to clock careers more so than anything. But that's how I feel about that.
Well, I would say in terms of the career search, and I'm gonna let other people talk. Yeah, you could definitely search. Was it Glassdoor, and a couple other ways to search what a person does for a living, and then look up the average salary for that, and then try to look up the top pay for that. That is something that women have expressed on the internet that they do. You know what I'm saying? Not all, but the ones who are in that mindset, they've said they've done that. Also, in terms of discussing how much someone makes, look, we're adults. At some point, if we're going to get married, we have to discuss finances before we walk down the aisle. Because ideally, this is what should happen. If a man has his own stuff, like you mentioned, at least a place to live, even if it's not an actual house, but a place to live, he should be able to tell, because this is how men lead. Every man has a plan. He should be able to tell his woman, hey, this is how much my bills cost in this house. This is how much things cost. My rent is this. My mortgage is this. My car insurance is this. When we get married, we're going to merge our car insurance. We're going to merge our health insurance. We're going to merge things. So automatically, you're going to save money. That's number one. Number two is, let's just say he wants you to contribute, right? Because I know a lot of women, not all, but a lot of women do the 50-50 trope. Not all men are asking for that. But let's just say he wants you to contribute. He's going to tell you how much that he wants you to contribute. He's going to say, look, this is how much the utilities cost. This is how much it costs for food. And we know that food will go up because now it's another mouth to feed, right? And then another conversation is going to be, well, if we have children, then we have to consider that this will get more expensive as well. These are practical things that have to be in a conversation at some point. Communication is a skill, and I think women should also vet for that as well. Men definitely should be vetting for that, right? So these are just practical things that men and women should be discussing on the road to marriage at some point. No, you don't do it on the first and second date. I understand that. But at some point, if it's been a discussion for intention to marriage, you have to discuss finances. Also, you have to discuss an event that one of us lose our job. This is going to be the plan. We're going to have to consolidate. We're going to have to downsize. These are the things we have to do. We pray for good health every day, but God forbid someone gets sick and they can't work. This is reality. This is the marriage. This is not the wedding. A lot of people want the wedding, but if you want the marriage, you have to think long term. So these are life. So these are the things that have to be thought about and considered. You also have to keep into account that there is a such thing as failure. There will be some things that you will fail at. Okay, this is the reality. There will be a door. Not every door is going to stay open. Sometimes doors close. Okay, what are we going to do in case this happens? Because we all know that hard times reveal true character. We're going to see what your marriage is really made out of when it's tested, battle tested. And a lot of people are going into marriages who have never been battle tested. So what happens is they'll be tested for the first time in a committed marriage. So these are things that we have to discuss.
Can I ask how much is going in? Like, is this a joint account type situation, percentage wise? When it comes, like, I understand the merging components, like car insurance, all this other stuff. But what about like extra leisure activities? That is a discussion as well, correct?
Well, let me ask you, since you asked the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you are your own person and everybody else is everybody else, right? So do you believe in separate accounts or do you believe in one pot?
I believe in separate accounts. I believe in joint, personal. Joint and personal.
Okay, so you believe in having, okay, so we have one joint account, but then you also have your individual accounts, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be whatever you and your husband discuss. Not every man is the same. So your man may be requiring you to only contribute out of 100%, out of 100, he may be only asking you to contribute 20%. Is that something you're willing to do?
Yeah. If that's
okay.
Like we agree to.
Oh, okay. If he asks you to, out of 100, because this is out of 100, he asks you to contribute 40%. Are you willing to do that?
Yes, if it's like in our, so that's what I'm looking into, like the dynamic. It's like what we both can put in. Me, I'm telling you, I'm an honest book. I'm an open book.
Like I will reveal everything what I'm doing because I don't hide anything. But I'm saying for the spouse per se, like for instance, boy, everybody talk about girl trip, but guys go on guys trips too. There are going to be some things that they might dibble dabble in that most girls don't. Strip clubs, going here, this X, Y, and Z. Not most girls trip contribute to that aspect of it. But I'm saying like with that leisure money, again, that's like his own personal, he does with that. But we can't look at why we came short in our joint account, if that makes sense.
Okay, it makes sense, but just sticking to the topic, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be what you and your husband discuss. Everybody's marriage is different. Everybody's marriage is different. So the reason why I'm going up the numbers with you is because you can only speak for yourself in terms of that. So I was just allowing you to have that chance. I'm gonna ask one last thing when it comes to the one pot thing, right? If your husband at some point, maybe not during the duration of the marriage, but we all know incomes can shift and shape at any moment.
Mm-hmm.
Are you willing to contribute 50% if he so asks?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Because I believe that's what a partnership is. Like, especially like I grew up with 2-parent household. My mom didn't work majority of that time. We did fall on hard times, and you saw how dependent on one person to make majority of the income, if they was to fall, how it disrupts the whole family unit. Now another person able. That's why I always kind of considered a 2 household income, because realistically now that's where we are in this world. We can't just solely go based on one. And with that 2 income, it takes a lot of trust. It takes a lot of like communication, being respectful. And when we look at the leading cause of divorces, and they're saying women are in the position of making that divorce option, you have to look on what is contributing in that. It can't just always be infidelity. It could be different things that are contributing. But most people, when it comes to marriage, the first thing they talk about is like, I mean, nobody goes in a marriage thinking that they're going to be cheated on, but some people want to be passive and say, hey, it's expected to happen because of statistics. That's only showing a group or a population or people that fit in that category. But there are some people who genuinely, like for religious people, quote unquote, the Christians or the Muslims, that don't reveal as much, but they're still contributing in the portion of the divorce. You have to look at their dynamic. If they're so religious and they didn't commit all these sins and aspect, what was their fall in their divorce? If we're looking at the whole group in that aspect. So that's why my mind always wonder when it talks about, like, when people saying, oh, women are in the position of, making a divorce decision. Is it character? Is it something that switched up? Is it infidelity? What is the lead cause? And what is also the benefit of being married? If we're seeing that the fall is being that discourse.
Well, I have some facts, and I'm gonna let Braveheart talk. So you know that when you file a divorce, that information becomes public, right? So according to the stats, it says that the number one divorce reason is irreconcilable differences. That is very vague. The reason why irreconcilable differences is even a thing, because at some point, I don't know what year, a law was passed for no fault divorce. And yes, women do lead at that. Now let's talk about infidelity. Infidelity is on that list as well. It shifts between 2 and 3, but financial is in the top 3 as well. That sometimes falls into 2. So what happens is you'll have marriages that have survived infidelity more than you would think, more than what you would think, But the thing about the wording irreconcilable differences, that's very vague. In that can be infidelity. They just didn't put infidelity down. You know why? Because you have to prove infidelity in court, especially if you want something out of it. You have to actually prove it. So if a woman has cheated on someone and the man goes to divorce her and he says it's infidelity, he would have to have some proof, just like the woman. She would have to have some proof. Oh, he cheated on me, and it could be two things. He could confess. He can say, "Yeah, I cheated." She could say, "Yeah, I cheated," or what you'll see is people having private investigators, and then they usually bring that in court in case someone says, "Well, no, I didn't cheat on her. That's not true." And then you got private investigators showing up. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that works. Irreconcilable differences don't really need a actual investigator. It could just be, I don't want to be married anymore. Why? Because I said so. You understand? So irreconcilable differences is very vague. Go ahead, Braveheart.
Just had a question for you, misbehaving. I'm sorry, I don't even want to call you by that because I don't like to speak stuff like that. But why do you want to get married?
Misbehaving like MISS, not like MI. There's two
So
S's.
I'll just call you Miss. But why do you want to get married? I just had that.
That's what my goal to be married is, to have a family, to really enrich and build on the legacy that I hold. Land, if it comes in possession of like businesses, like I want to carry on my womb in that aspect of like growing and expanding. I want to have grandchildren, like, but all that comes under the dynamic unit of like me and my husband, my best friend, my partner. That's who I want, or what I feel that God also want for me from what I value in a marriage.
Right. So originally, marriage was established for people who had sexual desires. They wanted to be intimate with another person, but coming from the kingdom, Apostle Paul says it's better not to marry because it requires work that obviously people don't want to do. But I think the biggest thing in the area of this is that I can tell by what you're saying. There's a lot of fear there, and rightfully so.
No, that's
because
not fear.
Distrust, which comes from like being apprehensive because of things that have been done. But if we want love, we can't turn from the one who is love and expect those results. So, and when it comes to money in marriages, if we're under God's covering, we don't lack for anything, separately or together, because we can ask him and he will give it freely. No one should be in lack if you walk in correct identity and purpose. Men and women alike are given gifts and talents from birth, but if not partnered with the Lord, we're going to lack in everything. Most importantly, love. And that's what it takes to be in marriage. Marriage isn't about what we want. It's about how we can serve the other person. And if we stand in this place where we're just like, well, how much does this person make? Or how much does that person make? Or what do they have that's going to benefit me? That's where we wind up making the mistake, because we're thinking about ourselves, and ourself doesn't belong in marriage. The other person's supposed to think about us, and we are supposed to serve them. And that's where we wind up getting into the mess that we get into. And, I honor the reason why it's a great reason. Actually, it's the ultimate reason why you should want to get married, to be fruitful and multiply, But the thing is that, like I said, we have to make sure that we have that love and that perseverance. And like Fifth said, we gotta go through trials. We gotta go through different things, and we gotta heal before we go into marriage, because marriage is going to bring up things in us that we're gonna have to overcome in itself. So if we don't overcome ourselves before marriage, we're definitely not gonna be able to make it through marriage.
Yeah, and I agree with you when you're saying, like, again, like going for God and what God wants in a marriage, and who he put in our lives. Hopefully we pray that this person honors God as well, because like you mentioned, like our job is to support the other person. The person is also supposed to support and love us in the same way as how God loves us. So in that aspect, being in that form, if we truly believe that, we will see that happening. We will come in contact with other people embodying that type of love. So that's what I'm trying to get when I'm asking these questions. It's not from fear. It's not from
distrust is from understanding. Because why is that not being showcased, and why are we not seeing more examples of that in the world? If that is based to be true, and it is true, why can't we convince other people to follow that route? If all of that is embedded in the marriage, you wouldn't see so much hardship as what we're dealing with as singles. If we should be coming together when we're in a marriage, there shouldn't be no dishonesty, disloyalty, and X, Y, and Z. Because if that person believes in God just how I believe in God, it will be resembled and mirrored back and forth between each other. You get what I'm
Right.
saying, Part?
Right.
So
Yeah, and
yeah,
that's a good standpoint, and I'm glad because you know what I mean. It really requires you to be equally yoked. You know what I mean? It really does because if you're walking in Christ and you're not waiting for your husband to find you, which he will find you because the Lord is hiding you right now, and he's hiding you for good reason because he's refining you. And when he's done refining you, you are so worthy of marriage, sister. You are so worthy. I can see it.
Thank you.
And I know that your husband is coming, but he's not going to come until you're ready. And the Lord will reveal him to you. You won't have to look for him. So in the meantime, just work on you.
Thank you for that. And I've been working on me. Can I ask, are you married?
Only to Jesus right now.
Do you want to be married?
I do. I do want to be married. I have no fear of it because I know that my father has the right person for me. But I also know that what he's built in me and what he's done in my life, you know, I still have some things that I need to work out and I'm accountable, you know, to those things. So, you know, one of those things is, you know, he's been my covering for a while. I've been single for, I want to say 10 years now. And I'm not really, it's not, I laid it on the altar. It's not something that I idolize or anything like that. I lay it on the altar and I just continue to serve people. I continue to serve God's people. And in my serving, I know that my husband will find me. But in the meantime, I just do the work because the harvest is plenty and the laborers are few.
Okay, gotcha.
Mama or Black Diamond, you have anything to say?
Was she? I didn't know she was about to speak. I thought she came off of mute.
You can go ahead, Mama. Go ahead.
Okay, I just really love the way that Braveheart said that. Like the way you communicated everything was so spot on. Called me out just a little bit because I definitely did have to acknowledge my slight fear when it came to getting married. Even I've had some relationships that have slowly inched to that, and I had respectfully dipped out because there was a slight fear that came from that. And I think for me, it was usually tied with the vulnerability and the uncertainty that can come with it. I know earlier you guys were mentioning like infidelity and things like that. For me, it was a fear of like tying myself and committing myself so much to one person and then it doesn't work out. And then literally having to, I don't want to necessarily like reinvent myself, but literally having to start over. So kind of having to be completely vulnerable and just be open to somebody was like a deep fear of mine. And I feel like marriage definitely exposes that. And, but yeah, just overall, the way you said that was just chef's kiss.
So I have a question. Let me get Black Diamond's attention real quick because I never asked her. Is Black Diamond, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Black Diamond, I never asked this question. Are you married?
No.
Okay, Braveheart just said she wasn't married, and Miss Behaving said that she's not married. Mama, are you? I know you said
No.
you. Okay, so Mama's not married. So I'm gonna ask the ladies because this topic is about are men taking too long to propose. How long is too long for you ladies?
I will go ahead and speak on my behalf. As far as that, I don't have a time frame and I can't agree with that statement because that's the problem with marriage now. People are rushing to get married. They're doing it for the wrong reasons. they are not even learning their significant other, and then they get married and they wonder why the marriage is not working or it didn't, go through with. But as far as me, I'm not rushing. I'm in a relationship that I've been in for about 3.5 years, going on 4. I actually dated this guy in high school. So he's actually been talking about marriage and wanting to get married, but I'm not going to rush anything. When I feel we are both ready is when we're going to get married. I'm not doing it because, it's a season or it's been too long or whatever, because you can't put time frame on getting to know someone. You can't put time frame on, like just setting yourself up for the future. You never know when and how. And a lot of those things matter, like finance, your significant other, if they're making a certain amount, if you guys can bring this and that to the table, all of that matters. And it shouldn't matters, but it does in a certain extent as far as a long-term relationship, because I believe everything should be 50-50 unless you guys think otherwise. But that's really all I have to say about it. I can get into deep details, but I don't want to take up too much time.
It's all good. The rest of the ladies can answer that same question. How long is too long for you? Mama, you could answer that.
I agree with her. I don't think there's like a specific time. To the instances I was talking about earlier, there was a guy that I was dating that within less than a year, he was already talking about proposing and things like that. And that kind of spooked me a little bit, because sometimes when you rush it, I'm just like, what are you trying to hide? What are you trying to rush through that you don't want me to see? But then there's also the other side of that argument, or the other side of the coin, where some people are like, when you know, you just know. So I just haven't really gotten that conviction, but I don't think that there's a specific time frame. I'm 27, so I think it's a little bit easier for me to like vet through the things that I know for a fact that I don't want, compared to when I was like maybe like my earlier 20s. But I don't think I can do the whole I've known someone less than a year and no, I can't. But I would say probably at minimum, like maybe a year and a half. But again, it also just really depends on the dynamic of that relationship.
Okay. Braveheart. Braveheart.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So same question. How long for you personally in a relationship? How long would be too long for a man to propose to you?
It depends on how much time we spend together to figure that out. Because there's a lot of things you have to gauge: emotional intelligence, leadership, service, also, like your covering and premarital counseling, which I do believe in, to see if we are compatible. And that can take, like I said, it just depends on how much time you spend together. If I'm spending a lot of time with this person, like almost every day for 3 months, then I expect, because men are the most logical, surest creatures on the earth. So they would know, but it really depends on the amount of time that you spend with that person.
So, all right, let me do this. So you're in a relationship with a guy.
Can I answer?
Yeah, I am. I promise you. All right. So you're in a relationship with a man for 3 years. Year 3, he hasn't proposed yet. Where you at with that, Braveheart?
I'm gonna be out at year 1 because I
Okay.
know who I am and what I bring
Yeah.
to the table.
So that's the answer I'm looking for. So I wanted to do that before I got to misbehaving. Misbehaving. Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna give you direct numbers. I would give at least 2 years for a proposal, and marriage probably by the 5th year. If we're not married by within 5 years, within that time frame. And I only say this because there are people that would say that they, quote unquote, it's going to take me time to get to know this person. And I'm sitting there, then why do you give your body up freely to that person if it takes that so much time? And that's only my personal viewpoint of that. To me, you wouldn't bring a child into this world. You wouldn't do X, Y, and Z if you didn't know that person already. So that's why I say all this, waiting until that kind of put me in a position to be thinking logically. Like, if you can do everything but put a name on it or a title on it, why is that holding you back from making this step forward? So,
Mr. Yorchet, you have any opinions on what the ladies are have said thus far? It's been a while. It's been some
Yeah, some
talking.
good points, man. I'm here listening. Some good points. Thank everyone for being honest, Braveheart. Thank you, Miss B. Thank you, Mama. Not my Black Diamond. I know she left, but thank you everyone for coming on, man. It's a lot, man. Marriage is not easy, man. It's a lot of decision, and you have to know what you're getting into, man. But I like everyone input. Everyone share their opinion, their thoughts. I mean, we have to respect everyone's feelings, man. But I learned a lot, though. What women, especially their point of view. That's good to know. You never have enough knowledge on that. Yeah, that's all I have to say, man.
That's what's up. I want to thank everyone for joining the live. This was a very interesting show. It kind of brought on some interesting people, but at the end of the day, we get down to the respect. So for people who are still listening, all replays are posted on my YouTube channel, Fifth General TV. YouTube channel, Fifth General TV. Okay, it'll be up there. This episode will be up there tomorrow. Okay, and so I'm gonna in a few minutes end the stream. So let me get everyone's final thoughts, and then I could close out. I'm gonna start with Braveheart. Braveheart, you have any final thoughts on this topic?
Um, I got nothing. I just wanted to say thank you for having me. It's always an honor, and honor to all of you in the comments and on the panel, Yard Chat, Fifth. It's always a blessing to be here.
Absolutely. Always enjoy having you up here. There's a purpose to these topics.
Thank
I
you.
know
Thank you.
sometimes people may be like, why are these? But there's a purpose to these topics. There's a purpose to why me and Mr. Yard are up here, because we're gonna do something different than anybody else. It may be a topic that's been on another person's chat, but how we conduct things are gonna be different than anybody else. All right. Um, and shout outs to you, Mama. Thanks for coming by. Misbehaving. You have any final thoughts on the topic?
I just wanted to say that I guess the overall point is just really get to know someone and the person and truly figure out if that is your person you want to be with. I ultimately think that everybody knows who generally want to make that commitment to make that commitment with. But overall it's just getting to know and making sure and trusting that person and opening up that communication. And your best bet is to just be direct, be straightforward, and find out those solutions yourself. That's it. That's all I had to say.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. I guess Mr. Fifth, you there?
Oh, my bad. I didn't realize I was on mute. Thank you, Misbehaving. Thank you. All right, Mr. Yorchet, any final thoughts on the
Nah, I'm
topic?
good, man. I'm good. Thank everyone
Okay.
for coming on. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No problem. I'm gonna call you after I end the stream. All right.
All
Oh,
right.
matter of fact, before you go, because we have to do this every time we end the live. Give out your networks. Let everybody know how they can
Oh,
reach you.
yeah.
Okay.
Follow me on YouTube, Yard Chat, Instagram, Yard Chat, Facebook, Yard Chat, TikTok. So follow me on those platforms, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. I don't necessarily have a final thought because I feel like I nailed the point earlier. But what I will say is this: for people who come up on this panel, okay, it doesn't matter what box, it doesn't matter what size box Mr. Yard Chat is sitting in. He is a co-host. You disrespect him, I get you the heck out of here. I don't play that. All right. Once again, when you come up here, watch your mouth. I let pretty much anybody come up. Not everybody, but you know, because there's a lot of trolls out there, and I try to sift through them. And if you didn't get on the panel, don't take it personal. It's because, you know, I got rules. And for the people that I know them already, so that's why I bring them up. They are supporters, friends and supporters of the platform. Okay? All right. Y'all can reach me at The Fifth General, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Fifth General TV at YouTube. Fifth General TV on TikTok. All right? Like, share, comment, and subscribe. All right? I want everyone to have a good and safe Valentine's Day with your loved ones. All right? Thank you for everyone in the chat. Thanks for sharing the live. Thanks for hitting the like button. We go live. Me and Mr. Yard Chat. We go live Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, like it says in the artwork in my box, as you can see. 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 Central. Okay? We'll see y'all Tuesday. And y'all have a good day.
All right.
God bless you. All right.